presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
A little matinee baseball this afternoon. Opening week continues, and today game 3 of the 162-game schedule. We're at Miller Park, and it is the San Francisco Giants and the Milwaukee Brewers. If you're just picking us up, we take you back to opening day Monday. It was all San Francisco in that one. On the strength of back-to-back home runs in a 5-run 8th inning, the Giants win big in the opener by a final of 12-3. But last night we had a pitcher's duel here. Jimmy Nelson was terrific. Unfortunately, Johnny Cueto was just a little bit better, and the Giants win game 2 of this series with a 2-1 final. So that sets us up for game 3, and we welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Sophia Minard, our reporter here this afternoon. Well, the news was Matt Garza was going to be unable to start today, so that means that Taylor Youngman will get the start in his stead. Matt Garza's on the DL with a shoulder injury. Now Taylor Youngman steps into an even brighter spotlight today.
Yeah, what a surprise he was. He came up in May last year and set this world on fire early on. He started out in his first 16 starts last year. Unbelievable work. Earned run average in the low 2s, a 9-5 record. Had the only complete game for the Brewers all of last year. And then September came. I think the innings caught up to him a little bit. He had 178 innings, more innings than he'd ever had in his career. He was 0-3 in his last 5 starts. Hopefully he's going to be able to learn from that September last year and piggyback off what he was able to do, the success that he had a year ago.
Had a lot of success here at Miller's Park. Thought to be a hitter's park, but Taylor Youngman, who does not give up a lot of home runs anyway, a 2.21 ERA. And his 9 starts, he won 5 games here at Miller Park. And today, the Brewers are in salvage mode with Taylor Youngman, trying to capture the final game of this series. Jonathan VR, he's made an impact early. Sophia Minard has his story. The new Brewer coming from the Astros. That's coming up next.
Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. The Brewers looking to avoid the opening series sweep here against the San Francisco Giants. Jonathan Villar, one of the new faces in this Brewers lineup, taking over as the starting shortstop with the departure of Jean Segura to the Diamondbacks. And it's been a great debut for Villar here in the first 2 games. He has an extra base hit at the plate each of his first 2 games, a home run on opening day, a double last night, and also a few nice defensive plays for Craig Counsell. It's been a great debut, and Villar has just continued to build on what he showed the club at spring training.
I think the important thing is defensively that he's played well, and he played well in the spring defensively. So that's number one. The power is, I don't think something we're expecting. I think he's capable of it. He's certainly capable of a lot. He's got the ability to do a lot. We're hoping to that this little more consistent playing time kind of lets all those talents come out. But he's off to a good start, and I think, him knowing he's going to, be in there hopefully quite a bit, kind of lets his talent come out.
Villar and the Brewers will go up against Jeff Samardzija, who makes his Giants debut. He will face Taylor Youngman as he makes his first start of the season. We've got first pitch coming up next with Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder.
And there is Taylor Youngman leading the Brewers out onto the field, getting ready for Game 3 of this series against the San Francisco Giants. Youngman in his second year. Let's hope he can build off last season. Brewers baseball today on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. Roof is all closed up. 47 degrees outside. It's warming up in Milwaukee. We're improving by the numbers. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minard. And there is Bruce Bochy, world-class manager, certainly headed for the Hall of Fame. 3 World Series titles going back to the 2010 season. And now a decade here with the Giants. And the Giants have won the first 2 games of this series. Potawatomi batting order for Bochy and the Giants today. He's got Angel Pagan leading off. Denard Span is out with the flu. then Joe Panik, followed by Posey. Middle of the order is Pence, Belt, and Duffy. Brandon Crawford at short. Again, the pitcher batting 8th for Bochy. And Gregor Blanco gets the start in center field today, his first start of the season. And Rock, the numbers on Taylor Youngman.
And Taylor hoping to continue his good success here at Miller Park. Last year in 9 starts, a 5-2 record. And a very good 2.21 earned run average, making his first career appearance, not just start, but appearance against the Giants. No player in the current Giants lineup has ever faced Taylor Youngman. That should be an advantage for Taylor early on. Let's check out the Menards defense for the Brewers. You got Braun, Flores, and Santana in the outfield. Back-to-back starts for Ramon Flores. Hill, VR, Jeanette, and Carter with Lucroy once again behind home plate.
Now the Brewers have played pretty good defense here in the first 2 games, and Sophia giving that report and the words from Craig Counsell about his shortstop VR, who's played very well. And back out there he goes. Hill's been terrific at third as well. First pitch of the ball game is in there for a strike, and away we go from beautiful Miller Park. So glad you could be with us today. Brewers trying to get one in the win column. Youngman with that crossfire delivery can be very difficult to pick up, especially as Rock mentioned, with a team in a lineup that has not seen Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, well, the only guy on the roster for the Giants that's seen Youngman, Denard Span, 2 for 2 against Youngman, but Span not in the starting lineup today.
That flu bug is ripping through the Giants clubhouse. First it was Buster Posey over the weekend, and then Madison Bumgarner pitched on opening day with the flu. And now Span is gone. And the Giants were in Oakland. They played the Bay Bridge series in San Francisco and Oakland. A lot of the A's players have it as well. Sonny Gray actually had to miss a start, his opening day start. So let's hope the Giants take that flu bug with them.
Yeah, hopefully none of the Brewers are going to be catching that stuff. That stuff can spread through a clubhouse very quickly.
We were heavy on the Purell today after every handshake with a Giant personnel member. No offense.
Right.
2-2 to Pagan.
Precautionary.
Yeah. Got to. Count goes full. Angel Pagan back in his customary leadoff spot. Very comfortable there. But Span's going to be the leadoff hitter this year for San Francisco. Pagan's actually been hitting 9th. Bochy's got his pitcher batting 8th early in the season. Hits that one hard. That's going to go to the fence. Pagan with extra bases to start it, and he'll hold up at second with a leadoff double.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch, and Angel Pagan able to tomahawk one down the right field line. Then on top of that high pitch, ripped it down the line. Yeah, cut fastball. It really didn't do much. It's up. Pagan able to center on it and rip it for a leadoff double. Giants weren't able to muster a whole lot offensively yesterday, but they didn't need a whole lot with Cueto on the mound and that great bullpen. Off to a good start here today.
So Pagan at second base for Joe Panik. Tell you one thing about the Giants lineup. There aren't many holes in that lineup, and you don't see a lot of strikeouts, and their left-handed hitters are so good in situations like this. We saw that last year when they were all in there together. And today, Bochy will have 4 lefties and a switch hitter. Pagan's a switch hitter. So essentially 5 left-handed batters against the right-hander Youngman. And they do give right-handed pitchers a lot of trouble. Panik takes a strike. That sweeping breaking ball from Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, that's the key to his success. Not only does he have that crossfire fastball, he can two-seam it and sink it away from a lefty. Cuts it in on their hands. And the curveball and the changeup that it's a work in progress.
Panik with 2 hits yesterday. Outstanding second baseman. Another of the homegrown products for the Giants. I believe there's a number of their 40-man roster. They have 27 homegrown players on their 40-man roster. And you hear a lot about other teams who grow from within. Teams like the Kansas City Royals and the Astros and now the Cubs. But the Giants have consistently done that through the years. And that's really the formula to maintain success. Can't argue with the success of the San Francisco Giants.
Right.
3 World Series titles going back to 2010. And there's Carter. Race to the bag. Youngman's there. But Panic advances the runner on the ground ball. And the first out of the ball game for Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, they call it ABC baseball. Double, get them over, get them in. The Giants very good at that for a long time. They just advanced base runners, as you mentioned, don't strike out a whole lot. Now a man at third with one of the better hitters in the league, Buster Posey.
Interesting that Posey's in the lineup today, and even though it's only the 3rd game of the season, you figured day game after a night game, Posey would get the day off. But I think, as Bochy was saying, the pace of the game yesterday, as crisp as it was and as well pitched as it was, just a 2.5-hour game, that he felt like, the game went by quickly. Not a taxing evening for Buster Posey, so Bochy wrote him in the lineup today, and he said Posey wanted to play anyway.
And the fact you don't want to take Brendan Belt out of the lineup. He's been swinging the bat pretty well.
Posey will play some first base when he's not catching. Be interesting to see if Counsell does the same with Lucroy this season. As a breaking ball strike. 1-1 to Posey. Counsell and Carlos Subero, one of the new coaches for the Brewers, the first base coach this year, works with the infielders as well. Posey homered in the opener Monday. He was the 3rd in the back-to-back home runs in the 8th inning, that 5-run 8th inning. The man who gave up those home runs, Ariel Pena, was designated for assignment. And the Brewers bringing in Sam Freeman. Ground ball. Carter's coming to the plate. Oh, in and out of the glove of Lucroy. Pagan scores. Posey on his way to second.
That should have been an out. That was an out on a silver platter from Milwaukee. Throw a little bit high, but I think that's one that Jonathan Lucroy has got to be able to handle. And once again, you can't block off home plate unless the throw takes you in the way of the runner. Let's check it out. Right at Chris Carter. And that's a good throw. Lucroy has got to be able to make that play off the glove. And not only do the Giants get on the board, but Buster Posey ends up at second base.
Well, right now they're going to score it as an E3, but I agree with you. That looks like an E2. Either way, the run is in.
Yeah, that's a good throw. You got to be able to make that play.
Well, not a good start for the Brewers today. Had a chance at an out. That would have been the 2nd out and a runner at first. And now high stress pitches for Youngman. 1 out with Hunter Pence batting. We talk a lot about the changing rules in Major League Baseball, and we saw last night or yesterday in that game with the Rays and the Blue Jays, the play at second base. But a couple of years ago, the play at the plate called the Buster Posey rule.
Yep.
And it does put catchers in an interesting position, because in the old days, in your day, Rock, you would always catch the ball, 2 hands, drop the shin guard, and that's an automatic out just about every time. The catcher's mitt's not really a mitt, not making excuses for Lucroy. He should have made the play, but it's a much tougher play with a catcher's mitt, trying to make the catch and swipe tag.
Yeah, the one hand, it's not really designed to backhand one-handed and make a swipe tag. Ball will pop out quite a bit. We've seen it. But with the way the rules are these days, everybody's having to learn how to play the game a little bit differently than they've been taught. And we saw that play. We talked about it on the pregame show today. You got to slide differently. You got to turn double plays differently. All in the effort to be a little bit more safe out there in the field. It may very well be going a little bit too far.
And we'll see what the reaction is as well from Major League Baseball. And with the catcher's rule a couple of years ago, it did change after the early plays that were called. Some of the maybe the first month of the season, and then it was started to get a little more clear on what was called and what was not going to be called, and it's just a lot of gray area with both of those plays, the play at the plate, the catcher's rule, and then now the addition of the plays at second base.
Well, there's going to be a learning curve out at second base, just like there was at home plate. I think runners are a little bit more understand what they're able to do, what they can't do. Catchers are starting to get a little bit, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a process. And you're going to see plays like the one in Tampa Bay last night that certainly shouldn't have been called. But, you know, that's the letter of the rules. That was agreed to by everybody, and they're just enforcing what the rule states.
Now you can't put it on the umpires.
Right.
Pence in a 1-2 count. And a ground ball that's past Hill into left. A base hit. And so the Brewers have been pretty tight defensively, but not today.
And that's a play that we've seen Aaron Hill make in the first couple of games. Tricky hop off the end of the glove, and let's see how they score that. That's probably going to be a base hit, which it is. And a play that Hill will tell you probably should have made, but into left field.
First and third now with one away. By the way, they did change the error from Carter to Lucroy. Official score Tim O'Driscoll reconsidering, and that will be scored as a hit. So 2 hits and an error in the inning. And here is Brandon Belt.
It's kind of interesting. You mentioned, you know, you keep Belt in the lineup. You have Posey behind home plate, and consider the Giants have a day game in Los Angeles tomorrow. So that's a long travel followed by a day game, and you figure Posey's going to catch that game as well.
Now, Belt's been a hot hitter to start the season. 4 for 8 with 2 doubles in his first 2 games. Youngman's got him 0-2.
Actually, Giants are in San Francisco against the Dodgers, but still in all, a long flight.
That'll be the home opener for the Giants.
And back-to-back day games for Buster Posey. He's young. He can handle it. Bochy's done it in his career, so he knows.
That former big league catcher. No balls, 2 strikes, first and third, and they'll keep Pence close. Got a matchup of Texas Longhorns here, and Youngman and Brandon Belt. Belt was drafted in '09, a 5th rounder by the Giants. Youngman drafted in 2011, the 12th pick overall, a 1st rounder. In the air, shallow, going to be a tough play, long run. Hill is out. Oh, what a catch! Tagging at third, thrown to the plate, a hop, a tag, got him! What a play that was! Aaron Hill. That's the play of the year already, Rock.
No kidding. That kick could cover some ground. Well done, making up for that error.
Over the shoulder catch and a 1-hop strike for a double play to end the inning. Spectacular play. A play by Aaron Hill and turned it into 2 outs. Giants do get 1 in the first. Now the Brewers coming up for the first time as we look at the Potawatomi Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup with Santana, Jeanette, and Braun at the top. Lucroy, Carter, and Flores in the middle. Flores getting his 2nd consecutive start. And then Hill, Youngman, and VR rounding it out. Counsell has his pitcher batting 8th today, just like Bochy. Jeff Samardzija on the mound for the Giants. His first start as a Giant. And his first pitch is in there for strike 1 on Santana.
Yeah, looking for his first win ever here at Miller Park. 0-3, a .613 earned run average here against the Brewers. Last year with the White Sox, 11-13, earned run average around 5. Rough year for him.
2 years ago was an all-star. Signed a 5-year deal with San Francisco this offseason and pitched against the Brewers as a member of the White Sox here last year. But Miller Park has been a tough place for him to pitch, and the Brewers are hoping that theme continues. As you and Jerry Augustine were talking about earlier today, he's a power pitcher that lives on the fastball, and typically the Brewers have been a very good fastball hitting team.
He's pitched well, but the Brewers have figured out ways to beat Samardzija here at Miller Park. Overall 2-6 against Milwaukee. Well, Samardzija, you know, looking at his numbers, he's been around a while, but he's only had 1 winning season. That was 2011. Earned run average pretty good throughout his career. It's a little bit over 4, but he's 47-61 his career record.
He was an All-America wide receiver at Notre Dame. Considered advancing his football career, but decided to sign with the Cubs. And remember, the Cubs offered him a major league contract to lure him away from the NFL and perhaps rush to the big leagues. Those are some lean years for the Cubs when he came up. Santana draws the walk. Been seeing a lot of pitches out of that leadoff spot. And Rock, how about the Menards Giants defense?
Yeah, one of the best defensive teams in the National League a year ago. They've been pretty tight defensively in the first 2 games here at Miller Park. Gregor Blanco going to be out in center field today with Bernard Span missing this one, some flu-like symptoms. Pagan and Pence on either side. Duffy, Crawford, Panic, and Belt. And Buster Posey behind home plate.
Got a Gold Glove shortstop out there in Brandon Crawford. And plus defenders across the board for the Giants. Scooter Gennett off to a very good start this year. 3 hits. As a home run, he homered off Madison Bumgarner in the opener on Monday. 3 for 7 for Gennett. And that's in there. Base hit just inside the bag. The hits keep coming for Gennett. And the Brewers with 2 on to start it offensively.
Yeah, it just has a very good approach right now at the plate. And keeps that front shoulder closed, just tucks it inside that left field line.
So Ryan Braun's first at bat will come with 2 men on. And Braun is a hitter who has some success against this pitcher. Braun in his career, 10 hits, including 3 homers. A double and 8 runs batted in off Samardzija. A lot of that damage done Samardzija as a member of the Cubs. And let's see if the trend continues.
He can rush it up there pretty good, but it's pretty straight, and he'll get a lot of the plate with his pitches.
Santana walked. Gennett with a single. 2 on, nobody out after the Giants scored a run on the top of the first. Ryan so far with 2 hits. Had a double yesterday off Cueto. The anchor of the Brewers lineup. Braun and Lucroy hitting 3-4 in Counsell's batting order. And Braun into right center. That's going to get down. A base hit. Around third, headed home, Santana. He'll score easily. And Ryan Braun ties it up. RBI single.
And another fastball out over the plate, straight as a string, and Ryan Braun able to turn it around and hit it hard out there into center field. You can see that two-seam fastball just staying up in the zone and right down the middle. Yeah, Ryan not trying to pull it. That's his bread and butter, going to center field and to right field. Santana scores and Jeanette into third base.
Wheels are moving early for the Brewers. A walk, 2 hits. Still first and third with nobody out. And here comes Lucroy. I would imagine Samardzija is dealing with some nerves, even though he's been around a little bit. New organization. Signed to a big contract, a multi-year deal. Samardzija coming off one of his best seasons, at least for durability. He led the White Sox in innings last year with 214. Made 32 starts last season. Third time in his career he has gone over 30 starts. That's always a benchmark for a starter. Braun's got a walking lead. Samardzija steps off. Almost a balk there.
Yeah. If you flinch with that front leg, I mean, that's going to be a balk, but he did a good job just stepping off. Watch the front knee. Does it buckle? No, it didn't. A good presence by Jeff Samardzija.
Well, that mound can be a lonely place, right?
Yeah. Everybody's screaming at you, standing there in the stretch. They're all yelling, and he's pretty poised.
You're trying to get hitters out, and base runners are dancing. Now Lucroy a chance to play run producer here. One of the reasons Council has him batting 4th. Not your prototypical cleanup hitter. Not huge power. Lucroy certainly has pop, but he's not a guy that's going to hit 30-40 home runs a season.
But a good incentive to be able to, think about throwing strikes to Ryan Braun. A contact hitter. It shoots the ball to right field very well. Braun, says he's feeling good. The back's feeling good, and he says he's going to run when he feels like he's got an opportunity.
And he is a feet-first slider as well, which is helpful for an injured back. Don't want to slide head first. Lucroy fouls it away. Brewers have not attempted a stolen base in the first 2 games of the season. And the way the games were going probably dictates that more than anything else. The blowout game in the opener on Monday, and then yesterday was such a tight game, and the Brewers had very few base runners. Johnny Cueto was superb yesterday in his 7 innings. And then Romo and Casilla finished it off for San Francisco. First and third, nobody out. And Braun takes off, and Lucroy right back to Samardzija. Checks both spots and then lobs one over to Belt for out number 1.
A little unorthodox flip over to first base. Thought about third, thought about second. That didn't even move his body, and an awkward flip over to first. Check it out. Ryan Braun on the move, stays out of the double play, and a little toss to first. It's not the way you want to teach it, but it worked.
Well, of course, he is a superb athlete and can do a lot. So he can make that throw, no problem. Chris Carter now with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Everybody's anxious to see how Chris Carter swings the bat this year. He wants to prove that he is an everyday player. Last year hit 199 with the Astros, but he brings a great power threat to the plate. He's hit 90 homers since 2013, 8th most in the major league during that stretch. 13, 14, 15, 90 homers in 3 years. I know there'd be no math early in the day, but to me that's averaging 30 homers a year.
Yeah, that's a lot of homers. I mean, and that ranks up there with the best in the game in that stretch. Nice easy swing, doesn't overswing, ball just jumps off his bat. And it's just a matter of how much contact Chris Carter's going to be able to make.
And if you narrow it down to first baseman, where he ranks since that 13 season began, he's 3rd among first basemen in that category. 10th in RBIs. Slugging percentage is high. But there are a lot of strikeouts that comes with that. And these are the kind of moments where a strikeout can end a rally quickly.
Yeah, and this is where Chris Carter's got to, come up big. And if nothing else, get the ball deep enough into the outfield to score Jeanette with that run. Man at third, less than 2. This is where the Brewers have to be able to execute all year.
Giants play their infield back, so even on a ground ball, they'll concede a run. Carter fouls it away. Second and third, 1 out. A run is in. Giants scored in the first. It was a great play by Aaron Hill to end the first inning. Over the shoulder catch that he turned into a double play. And the 2-2. Carter strikes out. And that's the other side of the Chris Carter story.
And that's that good cut fastball that time from Samardzija. Got the four-seamer, the cutter. He'll throw a split. There it is, the cut fastball grip. You see the rotation. And by the time he gets to Carter, it's out of the hitting zone. Off the plate.
So 2 men are out. Still second and third. And here comes Ramon Flores, who gets a start in consecutive games and gets the call in center field once again. Wouldn't say that is his best position. He's adequate in center. He'd probably prefer to play the corner outfield spots.
But he can hit. That's why you put him in center field. He's the best option out there in center.
Got a little time with the Yankees last year. That was his first year in the big leagues. He was traded from the Yankees to the Mariners at the trade deadline and ended up in AAA with the Mariners last season. Did not make it back to the big leagues with Seattle. And then the Brewers got him by trading Luis Sardinas to the Mariners. Sardinas homered for the Mariners last night against another one of his old teams, the Texas Rangers. Two teams dealing from positions of depth. Mariners needed some infielders. Brewers needed an outfielder / first baseman. And both are getting some early playing time for their respective clubs. 0-2 pitch. Count stays at 0-2.
Everything out of the hand of Samardzija for the most part pretty firm. He doesn't have that. He does throw that splitter, and it could be a pretty good strikeout pitch for him. But he doesn't throw too many straight changes or curveballs. It's the cutter, the slider, fastball. And that splitter is more than anything else his off-speed pitch.
And another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Samardzija, who settles in as the Brewers had men on. However, after a Scooter Jeanette single, Ryan Braun drives him in to tie the game at 1. We're off and running at Miller Park. We head to the second.
As we head to the top of the second here at Miller Park, some roster news for the Brewers overnight, acquiring left-handed pitcher Sam Freeman, designated for assignment reliever Ariel Pena. And Freeman came from the Cardinals 2012 to 2014, was with the Rangers a year ago, made 6 spring training relief appearances for them this year before being designated for assignment. Says he's been working out the last few days in his hometown, Prosper, Texas, in the Dallas area. He's ready to go, available to pitch today, BA.
All right, thanks, Sophia, and good to have Sudden Sam with the Brew Crew. And yes, he is ready to go. He said he packed quickly and was on a plane and wanted to make sure he made it for the day game today. That was announced after the game last night. Obviously, the Brewers and the Rangers had been working on this deal for a couple of days. What do you know about Sam Freeman?
He's had some success. I mean, the Rangers really didn't want to let him go, but they were pretty rich in their bullpen, and Freeman available. The Brewers picking him up, and he's got a good fastball with a pretty good split, according to the scouting reports that I've seen on him. With Texas last year, 54 appearances, all out of the bullpen, and an ERA at 3.05. That's pretty good.
He pitched well and lost out in a numbers game there. The Rangers had a couple other left-handed options, but you think about a left-handed reliever, and the first thing that comes to mind is Craig Counsell now has a situational left-hander. That's not the case, as Duffy turns that one around, and Matt Duffy hits a long home run, his second homer of the season, and the Giants are back on top. Boy, that was long gone.
Guy can hit. What a season a year ago for him. And you see that that fastball that he kind of pulls. It's supposed to be away. It ends up right down the middle of the plate. And look at Duffy. Nice easy swing. And if you hit him like that, you get him up in the air. This ballpark not going to hold him. Not a big guy, but he has every bit enough power over there at third base. Third base is supposed to be an offensive position, and he certainly handles that.
Wiry strong. Duffy gives the Giants the lead. And a lot of offense early in this game. Here's Brandon Crawford.
Kind of reminds me a lot of a right-handed Matt Carpenter over there with the Cardinals.
That's a great call.
Yeah, the body type, and packs a punch.
6'2", 180, and just hit one about 450. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting last year, Matt Duffy. Giants found another gem in their system. 0-2 pitch. Crawford takes inside. Now, Craig Counsell saying today, just to finish the thought on Sam Freeman, that there's really not a reliever out there that's a situational matchup at this point. Brewers really aren't into that mode anyway as an organization, so not that they can't match up in a close game, but really you're going to see 1 inning, maybe 2 innings out of relievers. Freeman probably fits in a guy who could go 1 inning right away.
And from what I've heard, he's much better at retiring right-handed hitters than left. A little inconsistent with his slider, but his split-fingered fastball is an equalizer, and he will throw that to left-handed batters. Brewers right now with 8 relievers down in their bullpen. They don't need a 5th starter for a while yet.
Yeah, carrying the 4 starters. Matt Garza on the disabled list. That's why Youngman is starting today. Shift is on, and Jeanette out number 1.
Hey, this week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB TV. Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. T-Mobile.
Well, here is Samardzija now, the pitcher batting 8th. And he's another pitcher who can handle the bat a little bit. And he runs well from his wide receiver days at Notre Dame.
The post pattern.
He's a great fly runner. He doesn't stand up there like a pitcher, and he doesn't swing like a pitcher. The results are pitcher-like.
Good athlete. How about that?
And of course, every pitcher out there would say we're all good athletes, which is not the case. There's a swing and a miss. Good curveball by Youngman.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs. You know, Samardzija hadn't had too many at-bats last year and a half. He spent half a year with Oakland and with the White Sox. Giants are his 4th different team since the beginning of the 2014 season. That's a good Uncle Charlie right there, perfectly located down in the zone.
Only decent hitting pitchers get pitches like that.
Right.
So if you're a pitcher and you strike out on a curveball like that, you take a little solace that the respect is a little higher.
Pitcher's always a good guy to work on your curveball too.
Or there's that part of it. Gregor Blanco with 2 outs now. Shows bunt. Blanco in the starting lineup with Span out with the flu. And Blanco hitting in that 9th spot in the batting order. There used to be a stigma in the National League with a position player batting 9th. I think that's kind of gone by the wayside now. It's fairly common. I remember when Jason Kendall did it when he was a member of the Brewers. He hated hitting 9th. Just couldn't stand to see his name under a pitcher.
Old school. Didn't get it, right? Kind of an insult.
He did it, but he didn't do it willingly.
I mean, you don't want to be in the number 9 spot even in the American League, even when there's not a pitcher hitting.
Right.
Take it from me, I know.
Was that your spot on occasion?
Once in a while. When contact was an issue there for stretches.
Blanco makes contact out to Jeanette, and that will retire the side. The inning starts with a long homer from Matt Duffy, and the Giants lead it 2-1 as we go to the home second. And 2 brothers having a blast. Got the snacks going.
Rain gear.
Outstanding. Got the emergency services jackets on too. These guys, something to look at. All right, having some fun today on a Wednesday afternoon. Our Carsoup.com trivia. Which pitcher has the highest career ERA at Miller Park? Minimum 40 innings. Our director is Mark Vittorio. He may or may not be giving you a hint with that shot behind that graphic. We shall see. Just in case you're wondering, before you head to baseballreference.com, Samardzija a 6.30 earned run average. Has not won here. And the Brewers would like to keep that trend going today. Aaron Hill's already made an impact on this game with his glove, batting for the first time. And we talk a lot about the pitcher batting 8th for both of these managers. That puts a lot of pressure on the position player who hit 7th in front of the pitcher.
And then you want a veteran guy just like an Aaron Hill, and patient at the plate, knows when to be a little more aggressive, expand the zone from time to time when need be. Later in the game, be patient and take the walk with men on base.
Giants lead it 2-1. And Hill, little flare. Coming in is Hunter Pence, and he makes a sliding catch for the first out.
Yeah, Pence plays deep out there in right field. We've seen that in the first 3 games of this series, and he goes back pretty well, but always very good at coming in. Gets a good jump. And he's got a long way to go in this flare. You can see how deep he plays and able to get it as he goes down to the ground. Solid all-around player, Hunter Pence.
It's not always pretty. Can be very unorthodox at times, but he makes the plays. So now Youngman with 1 away. And speaking of good hitting pitchers, Youngman proved he could hit major league pitching last year. It was very impressive what he did at the plate. That .270 batting average was no joke. He had 10 hits last year. 10 for 37 at the plate with 2 doubles. And that one flared into right center. That's down for a base hit.
Yep.
That's what he does. Plays a little pepper with the pitcher.
Yeah, makes contact for the most part, and that's not a pitcher's swing. I mean, Taylor Youngman kind of has an idea of what he's doing up there at the plate. Another one of those cut fastballs. This time it doesn't do much, and Youngman able to dump it into right. Point of contact, not too bad, and nice follow through in that swing. That's not a pitcher's swing.
So the Brewer pitcher with the 3rd hit for the Crew today. And now the 9th batter, Jonathan Villar. Had a chance with a man on and 1 away. Villar takes a ball.
Yeah, Villar, a perfect guy to be in that number 9 spot. He was leading off a lot in spring training. He's a switch hitter. It's the kind of guy you want, you know, a guy that's an on-base percentage type hitter that can run a little bit. So you have back-to-back pretty good wheels when you have your 9 leadoff hitters coming up.
Well, take you back to opening day. Jonathan Villar, Powerball home run number 1 off Madison Bumgarner. Brewers at 2 off the big lefty that day. 2 guys you wouldn't expect, Jeanette and Villar.
Went down and got it, hooked it out of here. So for a guy shortstop, has some pretty good power. Pretty strong.
Slapped a double into the gap yesterday as a left-handed hitter. Third consecutive start for Villar, and he's hit up and down the lineup. Hit 2nd on opening day, and then hit 8th yesterday, and now he's batting 9th. The switch hitter. One of the other things Counsell was saying before the game today about the pitcher batting 8th and a position player in the 9 spot, it is a great developmental spot for a young hitter. Villar is only 24, but probably more designed for a guy like Keon Broxton, the young center fielder. And Villar draws a walk, so the pitcher singles and the 9-hole hitter walks, and the Brewers have it set up with 2 on and 1 out.
Hey, enjoy a one-of-a-kind game day experience from one of Miller Park's 5 spectacular all-inclusive areas featuring incredible sight lines, exclusive amenities, and all-you-can-eat food and drink. Single-game AIA tickets are now available for select games at brewers.com/all-in. All-inclusive areas, AIA.
Oh, I get it. Top of the order in Santana.
I won't make that mistake again next time.
Okay, I thought you handled it perfectly.
Kind of a little pause.
Every good player blames his caddy, Rock.
Oh, that was on me.
Santana a little bit late. Ball and a strike. Domingo Santana batting for the 2nd time. walked and scored last inning. Got some activity on the base paths early in this game. Each pitcher has allowed runs in every frame. The Brewers trying to keep that trend going here in the bottom of the second. Already 6 hits combined between the two teams. Into right center, a base hit. And Youngman, who got a late start, now trying to rev it up. He'll try to score. No throw. Youngman is in. VR goes to third, and the Brewers have tied it up on a Santana RBI single.
Now the Brewers have had opportunities in each of the games in this series, but really haven't been able to put together a big inning. Bases loaded yesterday with 2 outs, full count, a strikeout ended the inning, and this time Santana gets one down on the handle a little bit, able to fight it off. That's how strong this guy is. Samardzija able to get in on his hands, but still able to hit a bullet out there into right field, and Taylor Youngman able to score the tying run.
Taylor Youngman gets it started. The pitcher with a base hit comes all the way around to score. And Santana has his first RBI of the season. First and third, 1 out for Scooter Gennett.
Brewers have been very close in the 3 games in this series of putting together some big innings, but Giants pitchers have been able to make their pitches. It was a double play on opening day, a big strikeout with Ryan Braun at the plate last night. This time Scooter Gennett has a chance to give the Brewers a lead here in the second.
A strike. Backdoor breaking ball from Samardzija. 0-2 now on Gennett. Scooter with a single to the opposite field. He just snuck one inside the bag at third, his first time up. And the 0-2 is fouled away. It's funny watching Taylor Youngman go around the bases there. Not accustomed to running, but Ed Cedar, who's the loudest third base coach in the history of baseball, just screaming at him, go.
Well, he got a late break. I mean, a little inexperience out there at second. It was a clean base hit. Youngman took a while to get going, and I think he got a little bit nervous.
I didn't really see Youngman's gear change at all, however. I mean, I think he was already in 5th gear when he hit the bag.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think that is all he's got.
Well, it was a pretty quiet day yesterday for Ed Cedar. Brewers managed just 1 run. They've already scored twice on 4 hits. The best profile in the big leagues. Again with an 0-2 pitch. And a called strike 3. Went back to the back door and got the strikeout on the fastball.
Yeah, that outside corner has been a bit liberal for Mike DeMuro. And that looked like a pretty good pitch. Fox Tracks has it borderline, but DeMuro gives Samardzija the call.
Posey had just as much to do with that as anyone. The way he caught it.
Yeah, he's impressive. We've been seeing that these 3 games, and frames pitches nicely. He makes borderline pitches look good to the umpire, and they get calls.
So the second out. Here's Braun now. First and third, 2 away in a 2-2 game early. Braun had an RBI single his last time up, his first ribby of the season.
A lot of base runners, a lot of activity on the bases for the Brewers in the first 2 innings, but only 2 runs on the board.
And Braun fouls it back. That was one he wanted.
Yeah, that's he'd like to see that one again.
Yeah, you could tell his reaction. Braun, he usually kind of hangs around the plate area. That one bothered him. that he missed that one.
Out away from up a little bit. That's his bread and butter.
Will he get another one? In the air to center. Sounded like it was down on the end. And it'll hang up for Blanco. Inning is over, but the Brewers get a little rally started with their pitcher, Taylor Youngman, with a single. He comes all the way around and scores on the Santana single. We're all tied at 2 after 2 at Miller Park. Look at Grandma rocking the mohawk.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Well done. 2-2 ball game. And we remind you that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Surfrider Foundation in celebration of this month's Every Day is Earth Day initiative. By making simple changes in our daily lives, we can make a big impact on our environment. FoxSportsSupports.com is where you go to learn more. Taylor Youngman back to work. Trying to put a 0 on the board here. Angel Pagan leads off. First time through the batting order. The Giants go 3 for 9 against Youngman. Starting 2-0 on the Giants leadoff hitter today. Pagan hit a line drive double down the right field line his first time up. That's how the game started. And he scored the run in the first inning. Hoping for a healthy season this season, Pagan. He dealt with some knee problems last year.
Yeah, Giants currently do not have a single player on the disabled list. So they're starting the season at full strength.
That is not the case for the Brew Crew.
No.
5 on the DL. And a shot on a hop. Jeanette is there. Nice play. Moved right into the good hop. And Pagan, who hits it well, is out on a 4-3 putout. I saw Scooter Jeanette and Jonathan Villar out early today working with Carlos Subero. Taking a lot of ground balls and working on footwork and double plays.
Well, you've seen a lot of that already in the regular season before batting practice. A lot of fundamental drills taking place, and I guess that's what it takes. There's Carlos. Always teaching. Always sitting with the guys, the infielders, talking about situations.
Subero comes to the Brewers after managing at the AA level that terrific Biloxi team last year. Was the skipper on that club. Ball and a strike on Joe Panik. Panik with a couple of hits yesterday. Could have had 3 easily. Hit the ball sharply in yesterday's game. And that one's hit well right at Carter. He knocks it down, recovers, and he'll take it to the bag. Well done. Put that big body in front of it. 2 up and 2 down. Brewers with a few new coaches this year as Craig Counsell takes over as the manager. His first opening day managerial assignment. He adds Pat Murphy as his bench coach, who was his old coach at Notre Dame. Derek Johnson, the pitching coach. There's Subero and Jason Lane. Jason Lane is the coach who played in the exhibition game against Biloxi and hit a home run. How about that?
He's just a coach. He's a jack of all trades. He pitched. He was a position player. He knows a little bit about hitting, so he runs a gamut of expertise.
Posey rolls over one. Nice and easy for VR. Good inning for Youngman. He needed that one. 3 up, 3 down. It goes quick. 2-2 game. The Brewers are coming up in the home third.
For any catcher, it's staying healthy. You just never know, what's going to happen behind the plate. A freak foul ball, you just never know. Those foul tips will get you every time. But, it's something that it's a part of it, and I'm doing everything I can to prevent those things from happening again. So, we'll just go out every day and grind it out and play hard, and that's all I'm going to do. And whatever happens is going to happen. It's out of my control, those kind of things.
Jonathan Lucroy talking about the injury-plagued season last season. Never really got untracked last year. Had the fractured toe early, and then the concussion late. And a down season for Lucroy, and he's very excited to get a new season started, and he's healthy. He put himself in great shape.
Yeah, got a lot of at-bats in spring training, looked good behind home plate, and there's really nothing you can do to prevent the injuries that he had last year. The foul tip to the toe and the concussion is just one of those things that happens, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, Lucroy has played the role of mentor as well to the young catcher Jacob Nottingham, who's going to start the year in AA. Catcher the Brewers got from the Oakland Athletics, part of that Chris Davis deal. I was very impressed with Lucroy this spring. I mean, he spent a lot of time with Nottingham, and Nottingham was just flooding him with questions. And Lucroy was not just motivated by it, but felt a little bit of sense of duty, but he was actually inspired by the kind of questions that Jacob was asking. And That's a testament to his character. Lucroy bounces one to third, and the first out for Samardzija.
And the whole time he wasn't sure he was going to be back in the Brewers uniform the next day. I mean, all the rumors swirling around about Lucroy getting traded at some point, but he was able to get that stuff out of his mind. Had a very good spring, and hopes to have a solid season this year.
There are a lot of teams that would love to have Lucroy, and that's understood. He's one of the elite catchers in the game, catcher/hitter. Buster Posey's at the top of that class, but Lucroy is right there, and he wants what Posey has. He wants the chance to compete for division titles and World Series titles.
That Posey's got 3 rings. It's not a bad start to a career.
Chris Carter into right center. That's got a good sound to it. That's way back, and goodbye. Carter, home run #1 as a Brewer.
So strong, just so strong. He doesn't even get all of it. Saturday got in on him a little bit. Didn't get good extension, but still strong enough to knock it out of here to the opposite field. And the Brewers able to take the lead.
First homer as a Brewer gives Milwaukee a 3-2 lead. Carter with his second run batted in.
And check it out. I mean, he doesn't even get full extension on this pitch, and able to drive it out of here to the opposite field. Ball in, got in on him. That's just an easy swing, not over swing, just jumps off his bat. He's so strong. I am looking forward to the day here at Miller Park when he gets full extension on one to left field.
Right.
And no telling where it would land, and he's able to knock that one into the Giants bullpen and didn't even hit it all that well.
He's got power to all fields, but especially to center field and right center. And I'm not sure that's a home run in Houston. Houston has short porches, short down the lines, but it's very deep in center field. You remember Towles Hill.
Yeah, gap to gap, it's pretty fair.
And that's why I think David Stearns, the new Brewers general manager who came from Houston, felt like Miller Park was tailor-made for Chris Carter's power. Shattered bat. Flores is out for the second out of the inning. That bat broke into about 4 pieces.
We call those knuckle busters. That cut fastball from Samardzija ate him up.
Two outs in the inning now. And it'll be Aaron Hill. Part of the plan for the Brewers as they reorganize and rebuild at the major league level is to have character veterans around the young players, and specifically seeking out players like Chris Carter and Aaron Hill. Somebody's got to lead the way. Lucroy's always been great with young players, and these two are here to play every day for the most part, but also try to teach the game, and I think they both welcome that opportunity.
Yeah, keep an even keel in a clubhouse, and away from the ballpark on the road, and young guys have a tendency to let the game get to them, and it speeds up very quickly for them. And it's guys like Carter, guys like Lucroy, Braun, and Aaron Hill that try to slow these guys down a little bit, put it all in perspective.
On the ground to short, Crawford, the Gold Glover, ranging over, and he's got him for the out. That'll end the inning. But Chris Carter, his first home run as a Milwaukee Brewer, opposite field smash, and the Brewers lead 3-2 after 3.
3-2 lead as we head to the fourth here at Miller Park. And for Taylor Youngman, after making his debut in June last year against the Pirates, it was sort of a tale of two seasons. You see the numbers. His first 16 starts, a 9-5 record, the ERA 2.42, and then over his last 5, the ERA jumped up to 9, and he admitted he was really frustrated with how he finished the season last year. He said his rhythm and timing were really consistent early on, but he felt he just wore down physically. The timing wasn't there, the mechanics weren't there. He said hitters were taking advantage in counts. So while he said the debut and the early impression was very positive, he really wants to finish strong this year.
And Sophia, as you know, he's a great competitor, and he took that into his offseason regimen. And Rock, that's not uncommon for young pitchers. They come to the big leagues, and that month of September doesn't exist in the minor leagues. So all that experience that he had coming up, he'd never pitched that much in his career.
And I hope that he learned something from that. I mean, all those extra innings. He had 178 innings last year, far and away more than he's ever had before. And after having not a whole lot of success down in the minor leagues, at Colorado Springs came up and just set the world on fire in the beginning, and just kind of ran out of gas. That's all part of the process of maturing as a major leaguer, knowing how to pace yourself and still be able to be productive and effective in the month of September. That's the biggest challenge for minor leaguers that come up.
Youngman coming off a 1-2-3 inning in the third. He's got Pence, Belt, and Duffy due up. Hunter Pence singled to left his last time up. Hit a shot past Hill over at third base. Same side, this time VR is there, and he got him. So the ground balls are coming now for Taylor Youngman. That's 5 consecutive ground ball outs.
A vacuum cleaner over there at shortstop. Hey, it's vintage Brewer bobblehead day at Miller Park this Sunday as the Brewers host the Astros. And all fans in attendance get an old-fashioned bobble featuring the crew's 1980s uniforms, courtesy of Chevrolet. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
What do you think of the vintage bobble? I think they used the Bruce Fleming model for this particular.
You mean the body type?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
It looks just like Bruce Fleming from the neck down.
That is a must-have for everybody's bobblehead collection.
This one?
Yeah.
The vintage?
I like it.
I got to be honest with you. I don't like him staring at me the whole game. See, look. There's the model for the vintage bobblehead. Bruce Fleming, the legendary future Hall of Fame umpire.
Is this yours or mine? Oh, you always give mine away. Mine's not here anymore. That's all right.
Yeah, that's mine.
That's yours?
It's for the children, Rock. Brandon Belt with one away.
The bobblehead phenomenon is something, isn't it? Are you a collector?
No. I wish I was, though.
Well,
because
we collect them in the back of the booth here.
Well, they seem to disappear a lot when you have friends come up. And
okay, yeah.
Everybody walks away with a bobblehead.
Uh-huh. You're firing them outside the booth here, down in the seats. I see.
You know, the clubhouse manager in Houston, he had an amazing bobblehead collection, and he sold that to the owner of the Marlins. And there's a bobblehead display there at Marlins Park. And he put both of his kids through college with that collection.
Yeah, he got a pretty good sum of money for that, didn't he?
Brandon Belt draws the walk. That's the first walk issued by Youngman.
Have you seen the bobblehead museum at Marlins Park?
I have. It's awesome. It's great. There's a lot of Brewers bobbleheads in there.
Yeah. A lot of Euchre bobbleheads.
Uh-huh. They tried to make a bobblehead of you and I, but it just kept tipping over.
Yeah.
It's a weight imbalance.
Yeah. Height and weight.
Here's Matt Duffy. He has been a thorn in the side of the Brewers pitchers. Duffy hit a solo homer in the second inning. That was his second homer of the season. It was his third home run at Miller Park in just 6 games played.
How about that?
It's the highest total in any stadium outside AT&T Park, his home park. So he likes hitting here is the bottom line.
It's a good hitter's park, good hitting background, and Hitters will tell you ball jumps out of here, particularly as the weather warms up. And Duffy, an 18th round pick in 2012. So the Giants found a diamond in the rough. Sometimes that's the way it goes, right? You never know when a guy's going to reach his peak. It could be an A ball, could be in the big leagues like Duffy.
Duffy, in his 3rd year in the big leagues, last year was officially his rookie year. Didn't have enough at bats. Games played in 14, although he was up for 34 games, but still qualified as a rookie last year. Hit .295, 12 homers and 77 driven in. And if not for Chris Bryant, he would have won the Rookie of the Year. But Bryant was a runaway train for that award last season, the Cubs' 3rd baseman. Played his college ball at Long Beach State. They drafted him as a shortstop back in 2012.
You see the Matt Carpenter resemblance?
I see it.
Just the other side of the plate.
The wiry strong, and he's a tough out. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw, a short hop, the tag, safe. Belt got his foot in. Jeanette had to pick the short hop, and it took his glove right out of the zone, and it's a stolen base for Belt.
Yeah, good throw is going to be an out at second base. And anytime you have a short hop, watch the glove come up, and then it has to come back down. And let's see if the foot is in there. Boy, that looks like an out. I think this might go the other way.
We're talking inches there.
Yeah, I think that the review is going to be in the benefit of the Brewers here.
So counsel will ask for a review. Remember, he'll lose it if he loses the review. That'll be it for the rest of the game.
That was a good adjustment by Scooter Jeanette. The short hop, the glove has to go up, then it has to go back down. And right there, it looks like he is an out at second base. This shouldn't take very long, but you never know.
And remember, the call on the field is out, so it has to be conclusive and overwhelming evidence. That looks pretty clear. One thing about technology in this day and age of baseball, and our cameras and our replay machines can capture these images. And these are images that right there, we never used to see that.
No, he's out.
Until the last few seasons. And so the human eye can't see that.
Right.
So it was a bang bang play. Calling umpire Brian Gorman. He's also the crew chief. He's there on a headset on the left, number 9. Third base umpire Mark Carlson joins him over there. So the communication back to New York, the replay review center in Chelsea, New York. And it is now out of the umpire's hands here at this facility. So that call will now be made out of New York, just to refresh you on how things work with review.
Not sure why it's taken so long.
They have access to all of our angles and all of the Giants' angles as well.
They could save themselves a lot of time just asking you and I.
We'd let them know we'd be happy to. We're pretty fair about things. This is probably going to be the angle that defines safe or out.
Yeah, the tag is on. You see the strap on the glove move as he makes the tag, and Belt is not there.
And he just called him out. So he got word from New York. It is overturned. And instead of a stolen base, Lucroy cuts a base runner down. A successful challenge by Craig Counsell, and it takes a minute and 56 seconds.
First challenge of the year for the Brewers. And they win it.
And that is the second out. That's a big play in this game. With a hitter's count to Duffy. 3-2 now.
Man, good cutter.
Duffy off the end of the bat. Good pitch. Big curveball from Youngman. And Flores is there. So that one turns out well. And now back-to-back scoreless innings as Lucroy cuts down a base runner. Brewers coming up. School, you're on TV. Good job. That's not Patrick. That's the middle school's name. She's representing well. Brewers lead at 3-2. Check our Carsoup.com trivia. Which pitcher is the highest career ERA at Miller Park? Minimum 40 innings. That would be Jorge De La Rosa of the Rockies.
Trick question. You thought it was going to be Samardzija, right?
He's on the list. He's 5th.
Zach Duke.
Yeah, Zach Duke.
Matt Cain, pretty good pitcher.
Brewers are going to miss Matt Cain in this run. He's in there. He's 5th in the rotation for the Giants. How about that? Matt Cain is your number 5 starter. Jake Peavy goes tomorrow for San Francisco. Youngman, who had a single his last time up, started a rally, scored a run.
On a pitch away, and this time Samardzija is keeping the ball in on him. Tougher to get that bat head out on a pitch in. Coming in there again.
And a called strike 3. So Samardzija learned his lesson, and down goes Youngman. Samardzija with strikeout number 4. I was looking at the Giants starters. They're 5 starters. So between the 5 starters, they have 14 opening day starts between them. Bumgarner made his 3rd straight. And that's symbolic for a couple of reasons. You got guys who have been aces of staffs, and they're littered throughout their rotation. Peavy's been a Cy Young Award winner at the end of his career. Matt Cain coming back from injury. And it's a rotation that does not include Tim Lincecum.
Right. And most of them have postseason, if not World Series experience. It's always nice.
They felt like they were a little short with their rotation last year and paid some big money to get Samardzija and Johnny Cueto.
They gave Cueto 6 years. That's a long time. Cueto's been around a while. He's got some innings under his belt.
Samardzija got a 5-year deal. The Shark, they call him. VR takes a call at strike 3. Same spot. Same spot he got Youngman. Back-to-back strikeouts, both looking. And he has found that right side of the plate, the arm side corner.
Doesn't have that big velocity today. I mean, he's topped that. I think I saw a 93, maybe a 94. I mean, Samardzija a couple of years ago was consistently 95, 96. But relying a little bit more on location. A good slider to start out for Santana.
Santana at the plate, presented by Blaze Pizza. A base hit, drove in a run. His first Brewer RBI of the season. That was back in the 2nd inning as a walk and a single. The 6'5" Domingo Santana. He is an imposing presence at the plate.
I'm expecting big things out of him. Leadoff hitter, who would have thought, right? Start the year.
Never hit leadoff at any level of his minor league career. Never hit leadoff until this season. Handling it well early. There's a strike. 2-2 now on Santana.
Opening day, a base hit to start things for the Brewers. A walk today, so you know, so far so good. It's a leadoff spot. Been on base twice in this game.
2-2 pitch is just outside. By the way, we were talking about Lincecum. He's not signed yet. He's not with a team. He's in the same boat as Kyle Loesch. Both are organizing tryouts, pitching for teams, and trying to get signed, looking for jobs this year. Lowe still unsigned. Got in on his hands and a ground ball to Panic will end the inning. Samardzija puts up a 0. Brewers lead 3-2. We're going to the 5th.
We head to the 5th. The Brewers leading the Giants 3-2, and every home game day, Brewers Community Foundation will feature the 50-50 raffle. One lucky fan will win big, plus charitable organizations that focus on health, education, recreation, and basic needs will receive needed support for their quality programs. Tickets are just $2, so be sure to look for the 50-50 seller in bright orange shirts here at Miller Park.
Thank you, Sophia Minard. Great to have all of you with us today. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, our game produced by Brent Reeland, directed by Mark Vittorio, and our great crew here at Miller Park.
Good day to be inside watching baseball, isn't it?
No doubt.
Kind of iffy outside.
Temperatures in the upper 40s today. We're about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than we were for opening day.
A lot of rain last night.
Youngman facing Brandon Crawford to start the inning. 3-2 Milwaukee.
Did the rain get out to your neck of the woods?
It doesn't rain out in my neck of the woods.
No, not in the.
Always sunny and 70 out there in Lake Country.
Other side of the tracks.
In the bubble. We're under the bubble out there.
I know. You probably built one out there, didn't
Perfect weather. 2-0. And Youngman falling behind 3-0 on Crawford. And you got to be careful here. 3-0. Never know when these hitters will green light it. Crawford has power. He led the Giants in homers last year. He hit 21. There's a good pitch. Fastball inside corner.
Yeah, and Crawford, pretty good hitter on pitches on the inside corner. First 3 pitches away. Tried to bust him in on a 3-0 count. And Crawford likes that pitch in.
3-1. Got in on his hands again. So the count goes full. Youngman doesn't have that overpowering fastball, but is so deceptive. Hitters tell you just can't see the baseball. Can't find the release point because he's so across his body.
It's always difficult, especially difficult on a team that's never seen him before. Crawford took Jimmy Nelson deep in yesterday's ball game on a fastball in. And that was about mid-90s.
Trying to come all the way back. 3-2, line foul. If you were sitting in the Giants dugout and you stopped the image of Taylor Youngman just as he released the ball, you'd feel like he's going to throw it at you in the dugout. Look how far across his body, where he lands with his left foot, and way over there.
And the toe drag goes between home and third. It doesn't come toward home plate. See that mark on the mound out there.
Payoff pitch. And he just missed. So a battle with Crawford. Crawford draws the walk. And a man on to start this 5th inning.
You see that area right here, right over there, that little drag spot. That's where his toe drags. That's about a 45-degree or a 90-degree angle, to the third baseline. And there's a difference in the landing spots between he and Jeff Samardzija. That's a big difference.
Yeah, Youngman never has to worry about the hole from the opposing starter. He's got his own spot over there. Samardzija, the Giant pitcher, up there to bunt and gets it down foul. How do you like the Giants helmets this year? They're like the Pirates, the matte finish.
Yeah, I like that. That's real popular.
Brewers still go with the shiny, the gloss finish.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it as we speak. I like it because it's new.
I like it.
Samardzija gets a bunt down. Hill's going to go to second. Out there. Throw to first. In time. Double play.
Nice. Very nice. Aaron Hill right on top of Samardzija when he was getting ready to drop down that bunt. Crawford runs pretty well, and not a bad risk to take. If he's safe at second, you still have enough time to get the out at first. Barely able to get him and able to turn a double play. Got Samardzija by a step. Let's see the slide by Brandon Crawford. Check it out. See the way he's able to keep a grip on the bag. If you slide past the bag and lose contact with second base, that's an automatic double play at first.
Well, it has certainly created a comfort zone for that middle infielder turning to. We are just standing right in there.
Guys have to learn to start their slide a little bit earlier these days to get down.
So 2 outs. It wipes out the walk and a 5-6-3 double play with VR standing on the bag.
Watch Crawford making sure that he keeps contact with second base.
5-6-4 double play, I beg your pardon, with Jeanette over covering first. Brewers spent a lot of time, and every big league club does it, but I would venture to say the Brewers spent more time on bunt coverages and bunt plays this spring than at any time in my career here watching this team. All the variations of the plays, knowing that if a team's going to give you an out, there's a chance maybe you can get 2 and have to be buttoned up on all accounts on any kind of bunt play.
And every team goes through those things in spring training, but in my experience, as long as I've been around this club and watching them in spring training, they spend more time and took it more seriously than they ever have. And that's a Craig Counsell thing. He got his players to buy in. The coaches are very diligent in teaching what they were doing out there.
Pat Murphy was in charge of the bunt drills, and it was interesting, and I've never seen a major league team do it, but Murphy had the 1-ball rule, which you don't really think much about because you play with 1 baseball, but in a practice setting that adds a little intensity to the drill, because if you misfire, somebody's got to run after it.
Yeah, in normal cases, you're throwing down the right field line, just grab another one, but that wasn't the case. I mean, he had saw Scooter Jeanette a number of times running down all the way in the right field corner.
That's true. And then they just started throwing them away just to see Scooter Jeanette run down the right field line.
And Craig Counsell, a lot of cases, was the runner in these drills.
Little chopper over to second. And that'll do it for the Giants in the 5th. Youngman dialing it in, gave up a couple of runs early. Brewers lead 3-2. Nice play by Hill. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. That swing by Chris Carter gave the Brewers the lead in the third inning. 3-2 Milwaukee as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Trying to salvage his final game against the San Francisco Giants. Scooter Gennett will lead off against Samardzija. Third at bat for Gennett. He's 1 out of 2. Had a single in the first. Slapped one just inside the bag at third, his first time up, and then Samardzija struck him out looking in the second inning. Got him on a backdoor slider or cutter or whatever he's calling that pitch.
And that was when there was a man at third base, less than 2. That was a big strikeout for Samardzija. 5 strikeouts, 3 of them have come with men in scoring position for Jeff Samardzija today.
Gennett knows this is a key window for him, trying to prove he's an everyday player. And talking to Craig Counsell earlier today, he likes what he's done this spring, likes how he started the season. His at-bats have been good, and maybe most importantly, Gennett has spent a lot of time working on his defense, his footwork, how he's playing second base, the way he's thinking about situations at second base, and that's probably the one thing that's going to keep him in the lineup more than any.
Got to play solid defense on a Craig Counsell club, regardless of how you hit. You spend a lot of time in the weight room as well in the off season. It's noticeable.
Hitters count for Gennett. And he takes ball 4. Some good approaches at the plate today. The Brewers getting into some deep counts. And another walk.
Well, it's time for today's time of the game winner, B.A. Ratch and Deb's Pizza in Oshkosh, if they call the Brewers. By 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, that's 414-902-4572. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Get the Ratch special.
Yeah. Pizza and a beer, not a bad deal.
Braun is up with Gennett at first. Brewers have walked 3 times today. Samardzija has 5 strikeouts. And Braun waiting on that fastball. He missed a fastball in his last at bat and it bugged him. He fouled one away and hasn't quite been able to center up. He did have a single and an RBI in the first inning. Now, he was ready for the fastball this time around. He still fouls it off. Braun with great numbers against Samardzija in his career coming in. And has only added to those with that RBI single today. Now has 11 hits in 22 career at-bats.
And Samardzija will make mistakes in the strike zone with the fastball, the cutter. He'll leave it down the middle, and those are the pitches that you have to take advantage of. And for the most part, the Brewers have done that against him in his career.
And again, Braun just a tick late. Samardzija has given him his best fastballs, though. You can tell he's reaching back for a little extra with the hitter the caliber of Braun at the plate.
Yeah, a couple of 94s that he's saved up for Ryan Braun, and 94 on the inside part of the plate. A 94 and a 93 in the first 2 pitches to Braun.
Max effort fastballs, right? Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
0-2 the count on Braun. Gennett at first. Got him. Back to the heat and a strikeout.
And 2 pitches on the inside corner. Then he goes with the cutter away and got Braun on strikes.
6th strikeout for Samardzija.
That's the thing. You get a guy looking inside, then he really exposes himself to the outside part of the plate, and Brawny swings right through that cutter. Probably in the back of his mind thinking something inside again.
It's just a good sequence of pitching for Samardzija. It's not unusual that Ryan Braun usually gets the best out of the pitcher. That sequence yesterday with Johnny Cueto and Ryan Braun, if you're a pitcher, that stacks up as the best you can do it. That's one of those Johnny Cueto will probably clip off, and if he's ever struggling or having some mechanical problems, he'll go back and look at it.
Yeah, change up on 3-2 with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he got Braun.
They're still talking about that in the clubhouse today.
That was a good battle, won by Cueto.
That's what's great about the game, though. There's all these individual matchups. It's a team sport, but it's just the mano-a-mano matchup that you get.
Yeah.
And how a pitcher is going to work a hitter, and based on what he did last inning or in the past, Braun's had great success against Samardzija. So that's what makes it so interesting, is all these little individual battles.
An individual battle, an individual game with a team concept, right?
Lucroy turns it around, a base hit. Through the hole, Jonathan Lucroy with his first hit of the day. And it's first and second with 1 out. Setting up Chris Carter.
Trying to come inside. Lucroy waiting for it and got enough of it. Got it inside. It looked like it was even off the plate, but Lucroy maybe looking for a pitch in and able to muscle it into left field.
It's a good piece of hitting there. That beautiful swing of his. So now the stage is set for Carter, another guy who came in with great numbers against Samardzija. Hit his 4th career home run off Samardzija back in the 3rd inning. On the ground, chance to turn 2. Crawford to panic, and just like that, Samardzija gets out of it. So a promising start. A double play ball gets him through it. 3-2 Brew Crew.
At Miller Park, the Brewers have a 1-1 lead over the Giants, and opening week continues at Miller Park this Friday through Sunday as the Brewers take on the Astros in the first weekend series of 2016. Call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com for tickets. Carlos Gomez and the Houston Astros.
And Mike Fiers.
Right.
And Carlos Gomez. And one of the game's great young players, Carlos Correa. So Taylor Youngman is out, Rock, after 5 innings. Craig Counsell with the early hook.
right with it. And the Giants 60 feet away from tying it up. He can run, he can fly. Domingo Santana with a good arm. It took him a while to dig it out of the corner and a leadoff triple.
He's hit 2 down there. Had the double in the right field corner as a left-handed batter in the first. And now a triple to start it. Joe Panik steps in. This is where the Brewers bullpen's just so banged up. They don't have a lot of velocity pitchers remaining in their bullpen. So there are a lot of finesse pitchers. That has been the area that has been hit the hardest with injuries as the Brewers have started the season. Little flare foul.
Yep, Corey Knebel on a disabled list. He's got the big fastball. Will Smith out indefinitely. I guess the only guy that you would consider to be a power pitcher out there would be Jeffress at this point.
Yeah, Michael Blazek throws hard, low to mid 90s.
Right. Jeffress can, you know, he's 80 or 97, 98.
By the way, that's a new feature this season. The iPads. You can have them in the dugout in the bullpen. You can track hitters. Ground ball, Carter, and Pagan's going to hold his ground.
Man, they were conceding the run.
Wow, that's a big mistake there by Pagan. See Roberto Kelly, the third base coach, knowing one got away right there.
That ball hit so hard, maybe Pagan thinking, I might not be able to make it. Once you hesitate, you got to stay. And Chris Carter able to get the out by himself.
And now Counsell is going to make another change with a couple of right-handers coming up in Posey and Pence. So Capuano faces 2 batters, a third of an inning, and he'll exit with the tying run at third base. We'll take a timeout. We'll set up Blaine Boyer when we come back. The new pitcher, 3-2 Milwaukee as we play here in the top of the 6th. And a reminder that baseball is back on FS1. It starts the season tomorrow. The Rangers and the Angels. And it's all in America's home for baseball all season long, FS1. Or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. A good matchup there. Rangers are taking on the Mariners currently.
Yeah, numbers for Boyer on opening day. His first appearance for the Brewers. Yeah, made the team just like Capuano was a non-roster invite. 68 appearances last year with the Twins and a .249 earned run average. Good numbers for Boyer. Got a couple of tough righties to deal with.
Starting with Buster Posey. Giants have the tying run at third. Shift is on for Posey. They're expecting him to pull the ball on the ground. But it's interesting that the outfielders are shading him slightly to go to the opposite field.
Yeah, a lot of room in that gap out in left center. A lot of room out there.
This is a spot where Boyer could use a strikeout. Posey's great in spots like this. In the air to left. And that's going to send Braun back to the track. Plenty deep to score the run. And this game is all tied at 3. Posey gets the job done. Sac fly and an RBI. That run will belong to Capuano. And it's 3-3 with 2 outs. And the base is empty for Pence.
Just a little bit out in front. That was a slider that hung up in his zone. And Posey would like to have that one back. He got the RBI, but he kind of was out in front off the end a little bit. And Braun able to haul it in.
That leadoff triple by Pagan, and the Giants cash in. Hunter Pence with 2 outs. The perpetually fidgety Hunter Pence never stops moving. Ouch. Well, that got Lucroy.
This one he was talking about trying to stay healthy, right?
Let's hope that
those are unavoidable. There's not much you can do about those. Let's see, where's it get him? Knee.
Ooh, right on the kneecap.
Yeah, those hurt. They hurt quickly, but they go away just as fast.
Lucroy did add those shin guards. He added a piece after he fractured his toe last year. Added that extra flap that covers his toes, which he deems as necessary but cannot stand the way that feels on your feet when you're trying to run or throw to second base.
When you rely on quick feet behind home plate, that can cause some problems.
Did he go? He did. Pence unable to check his swing. It's 1-2. Blaine Boyer getting new to life with the Brewers. And the 1-2. Pence doesn't bite this time.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, the Brewers altered their shift a little bit. They moved Scooter Gennett to the first base side of the bag. Didn't start out that way. Scooter was over here to start this at bat. And now he's on the other side of second base.
A fastball, and he wanted that call. Did Boyer? Where did it miss?
Yep, just a little bit off the outside corner. Good eye for Hunter Pence.
Count is full now. Craig Counsell removing Taylor Youngman after 5 innings and 80 pitches and a lead. It'll be a no decision today for Youngman. Capuano was first out of the pen, and now Boyer trying to get through this inning. A run is in, all tied at 3. Pence hangs tough. It is unusual that you take a starter out after 80 pitches with a lead, and he's been pitching well. So we don't want to speculate too much, but there's certainly going to be some questions after the game for Craig Counsell.
Well, it had something to do with approaching his 3rd time through the batting order. Who knows?
Pence to right, base hit. Just a tough at bat. Now Santana drops the ball. And Pence all the way to second there. That's going to be an error on Santana, most likely.
I think if he comes up with it cleanly, Hunter Pence has to stay at first base. An 8-pitch at bat, and Hunter Pence able to slice it down that right field line with his arm. I think Hunter Pence stays at first, off the gloves. Could very well be the second Brewers error today.
That'll be a single and an E9. So Pence and Lucroy with errors today. That would fall in the category of unforced error. Got to make those plays. Does open up a base and will allow Boyer to walk the left-handed hitting Belt to face the right-hander Duffy.
That's not an easy decision.
Aren't any easy outs in his lineup.
I mean, to walk Belt, I know he's a left-hander. Then you get the matchup that you want, righty versus righty with Duffy. But Duffy swinging a bat as well as anybody in this lineup. A couple of home runs in the series.
So the intentional pass to Belt. Second time he's been on. And here comes Duffy. Duffy in the second hit a long homer. It was the last hit that Youngman allowed, as a matter of fact, before he was removed from the game. That led off the second inning. And even though Youngman had a couple of walks, one in the fourth and one in the fifth, he erased both of the walks. It was a caught stealing and then a double play. So that's why he had faced the minimum after that home run by Duffy to start the second. Big spot in the game here. Tie game 3-3 and the dangerous Duffy batting. Slow breaking ball in there for a strike.
Yeah,
gravity ball.
Yeah, good curve ball. He throws all 4 pitches. Fast curve, slider, change. That's the last thing Duffy was looking for.
Off the end of the bat. VR, long throw is a good throw, and that will retire the side. Good play by VR to end the inning. The Giants get one, and we're all tied at 3. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. The famous racing sausages making their appearance. It's kind of a slow race today. I mean, it was competitive and all.
Day game,
but
you know,
sluggish.
Chorizo looked good though.
Thumbs up, Chorizo. Ramon Flores will lead off for the Brewers, all tied at 3 with the Giants as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jeff Samardzija still battling. Brewers starter Taylor Youngman is out, left the game after 5. Brewers have had some chances to open up innings. Well, really the Giants have as well. But those big hits have been elusive today.
The first 2 innings, the Brewers had golden opportunities to put up some big numbers. And Samardzija only had 1 3-up 3-down inning. That was the 4th.
He had a couple of strikeouts in that inning. He had 6 Ks to go along with 3 walks. Flores in on the hands a little bit, and to Pagan for out number 1. Now to bring up Aaron Hill. Boy, his defense has been on point in the first 3 games. This was the play of the day thus far, an over-the-shoulder catch, and then he got Posey, who was tagging, for a double play. And then he started a double play on a bunt, a 5-6-4 double play. That was a key swing as well.
He can play anywhere. I mean, not really played a whole lot of third base, but got good soft hands, a good arm, and good instincts out there on the field.
Started with the Blue Jays, and then with the Diamondbacks. Some big years with Arizona. Mostly playing second base, but occasional starts at third. Matter of fact, today is his 83rd career game at third base, his 75th career start. He has over 1,100 games as a second baseman in the big leagues.
Had 36 home runs in 2009 with the Blue Jays, 108 RBIs. And how about this? He led the league with 682 at bats.
That was an all-star season for Aaron Hill that year, his lone all-star season. But he's had a couple of years where he's hit 26 homers.
682 at bats. We're not talking plate appearances. At bats. Only walked 42 times that year.
Yeah. He's got a couple of Silver Slugger awards. The award given to the best hitter at that particular position. But he's been in a bit of a platoon scenario and a role player with the Diamondbacks the last few years, or especially last year. He's the everyday third baseman for the Brewers, and he knew he'd have a chance. Traded. He's in the Gene Segura deal. Hits it hard into left field. Aaron Hill with a base hit. Yeah. And the Brewers with a base runner with 1 away.
Good approach. Went down and got a slider. Able to hook it and hit it hard into left field. And nice quiet approach up there. Stays back. There's the slider. And Hill able to reach out and hook it into left field. Hit that one hard right on the button.
The sound of the big league bat. Hill is on. Chance for the Brewers here, and Counsell is going to go to his bench. Kurt Neuenhuis will pinch hit. Neuenhuis just 1 at bat thus far. Coming off the bench as a pinch hitter.
Every day I write his name in the scorebook and I spell it differently.
Let's see. N-I-U. No, N-I-E.
See?
U. It's the 3 vowels that get you.
Yeah. The order in which you put him in, that always throws me. The rest of it is pretty easy.
You get all the letters right. If only you could use Neuenhuis in a Scrabble game.
Right.
Is that even a thing anymore?
Oh,
People
yeah.
play Scrabble?
Oh, yeah. You have it on the iPad.
Oh, okay, good.
You want to play on the next road trip?
There it is, Neuenhuis. 28-year-old outfielder. He can play all 3 outfield spots, but He can play center field, which is why he made the team.
Today I forgot the E before the W.
Oh, is that right?
I said I had an NIUW. So yeah.
I don't know. Is there an E before the W?
Well, I mean, you know, 2 letters before, but I forgot that E.
Oh, I see.
Everything else was fine. Everything past the W is always really consistent.
And a ground ball, that's through, however you spell it. And Pence winds it up, fires a bullet to Crawford. Hill thought about going to third, but he wisely holds his ground. Back-to-back hits, a pinch hit single for Nieuwenhuis.
You know, Nieuwenhuis able to stay back and roll one into right field with Belt holding the runner. Doesn't have the range to be able to keep it in the infield, and Hunter Pence a pretty accurate arm to third base.
And that's going to send Bruce Bochy to the mound. He'll take the ball from his starter. In his Giants debut, Samardzija will exit, perhaps on the hook here with 2 on and 1 out in a 3-3 game. We'll take a break. Spot for a starting pitcher. He exits. He'll have to sit there with 2 men on base, and his game on the line here. 3-3 as the Brewers are all tied with the Giants. Hey, Brewers fans, if you can't watch the games on television, go to the Fox Sports Go app and stream them live on your mobile device. You can go to the App Store to download the free app. Log in and stream the Brew Crew wherever you go. Fox Sports Go app. The new pitcher Rockies, George Contos, out of the San Francisco bullpen.
Yeah, tossed a scoreless inning on opening day on Monday here at Miller Park. Had a great year a year ago. 77 appearances. That's a career high for him, and a .233 earned run average. This is one of the strong points of this ball club. Not that there are too many soft spots, but the bullpen has been very good.
Big spot for the Brewers. 2 on, 1 out. Jonathan Villar at the plate, the 9th place hitter. At the top of the order coming up next in Santana. Villar has walked and struck out today. His strikeout was looking in the 4th. One of the 6 Samardzija strikeouts. Tell you, Buster Posey is so good. That's something that won't show up in a box score or you won't see anywhere. That can be a game changer, what he just did.
Yep.
It's a fastball in the dirt, tough to handle, and he just picks it.
And you really don't have much time to, you don't have time to get on your knees and block it conventionally like you would with a breaking pitch. He's got good soft hands.
Keeps the runners at first and second. Hill and Nieuwenhuis are the base runners. And another one low. 3 balls, no strikes. Take you back to the 1-0 fastball. It's coming in at 90 plus, and
ball skipping off home plate, staying down on, able to knock it down.
A college shortstop with infielders' hands. Lost him. Walked him on 4 straight. How about that? Bochy makes the move. And his reliever comes in and issues a 4-pitch walk to load the bases. And the screws tighten for Jeff Samardzija. Every starting pitcher worth his salt wants to get out of his own jam. But Bruce Bochy's among the best in the business managing a bullpen.
Man, when you have a bullpen like he has, it becomes a little bit easier to make that move.
Domingo Santana. There's a strike.
Yeah, basically sinker slider for Contos. He gets a lot of ground ball. That's the last thing the Brewers need here. Man, get something up in the zone. Try and hit it deep enough into the outfield to score the run.
Ground ball up the middle. Crawford is there. Steps on the bag and a double play to end the inning. That one hurts. A 6-3 double play. Just like that. The Giants are out of it. Still tied at 3.
Giants even at 3 as we head to the 7th here at Miller Park. It was a very busy offseason for new general manager David Stearns, and with that, the Brewers took a rise up the minor league standings in the prospects. According to MLB Pipeline, these are the 5 Brewers names on the top 100 list. Orlando Arcia ranked 6th. Brett Phillips, of course, Jorge Lopez, Josh Hader, Trent Clark, the Brewers' top pick in the draft a year ago. Those are the 5 names to watch on the top 100 list. And again, you see the Brewers farm system ranked 9th there in all of baseball. And tomorrow is opening day for the minor league affiliates. So the Sky Sox will open up at Memphis. Biloxi will open at home against Chattanooga. Brevard County will be at Daytona. And the Appleton Timber Rattlers will open up at Beloit.
All right, Sophia. Sophia is going to become a Brewers minor league expert this year. She'll have a lot of reports on all those great prospects, and I'd say 4 of the 5 on that list, there's a good chance seeing them in the big leagues.
Might see them at some point. You're right, as Tyler Thornburg gets his first appearance this year.
Well, a tough way to end the inning, last inning for the Brewers. Bases loaded, 1 out, knocking at the door at a big inning, and instead a 6-3 double play. Brandon Crawford took it himself, the Gold Glover. Santana sees an opportunity slip by.
Been the story of this series for the Brewers offensively. Opportunities, but not able to cash in with that big hit.
Thornburg There's Crawford in the pitcher spot, then Blanco at a base hit. He beats a shift. Leadoff single for Brandon Crawford.
And last fastball for Thornburg, 95 miles an hour. We didn't see too many of those big fastballs from Tyler a year ago. But Crawford is a very good fastball hitter, particularly inside, and he's able to pull the hands in and hit it hard into right field. That's not a place where you want to pitch him too much, I think. Inside, he can get to that pitch and hit it hard.
It's his 4th hit of the young season, including a homer. Crawford has a walk and a single today. Bernard Span's going to pinch hit for Bruce Bochy here. Out of the starting lineup with the flu. And he is up there to swing the bat. Beware of the weary. Might be up there to bunt, which he is very good at.
Well, Aaron Hill thinks he might. He's even with the bag. One step on the grass.
Span, the newest acquisition for the Giants after spending a year with the Nationals last year. Getting the center field job. He's healthy to start the season. Hip and back problems last year plagued him. It's a good leadoff hitter.
And that graphic you just saw, a pretty good pinch hitter. 6 for 10.
And a strike from Thornburg at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, getting it up there nicely today.
0-2 the count.
Tyler with a good fastball, terrific changeup and curveball. He'll throw a slider once in a while, but that changeup's a good pitch for him.
Span is a very patient hitter. He's comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Typically sees a lot of pitches. An ideal leadoff hitter because of that. Let's see what Thornburg has here. Check on the runner at first. Crawford is pretty close to the bag. Doesn't look like he wants to run.
Not really a running count, 1 and 2. I mean, of course, you never know. I mean, you might think you might get a curveball here, and that's a good pitch to run on.
Span has not shown bunt at all. If that was in the cards, he's up there to swing. And swing he does, and right through it. Thornburg took something off, and a strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Yep, 85 miles an hour, taking off about 10 miles an hour with the changeup. Talked about that changeup. Look how far out in front Span is on that pitch. Good arm action on it, and he gets the strikeout.
So now Thornburg looking for the ground ball double play with Gregor Blanco at the plate. Bottom of this Giants order. Trying to get through this part of the order cleanly so you don't have to deal with Panic and Posey and Pence with men on base. Thornburg making his first outing. Got in 9 games, 9 spring training games. Right off the end of the bat, Jeanette coming in, flips it to second, out there, throw to first, not in time. Close, but Blanco beats it. Boy, VR is impressive
Yeah.
at the bag at second. That was in and out of his glove like a flash.
Yeah, and he's got a terrific arm and very athletic, able to avoid contact. And there's another good changeup right off the end of the bat, Blanco, and not really a double play ball, but the Brewers make it close. That's a good feed, and you can see clearly Blanco able to beat it at first base.
Good call. Keeps the inning alive for Pagan. I didn't think VR even had a chance, but he made it closer than I thought. 2 outs. Pagan has had a good day. Moved into that leadoff spot with the illness to Span, and he's responded. He had a double in the first as a left-handed batter, tripled in the 6th inning as a right-handed batter. He scored the tying run last inning. Remember that kid we were raving about this spring with the Rockies, Trevor Story?
Yeah.
Who is the new Rockies shortstop, filling the big shoes of Troy Tulowitzki, who they traded last year. He hit another home run today.
And he's filling the shoes of Jose Reyes, too. He's filling the shoes of 2 guys.
Right. I don't see Reyes coming back.
Yeah, he had 6 home runs in spring training, didn't he?
And Story hit his 4th home run of the season.
Keeping it up.
First player to hit 3 home runs in his first 3 games of his career in Major League history. And he just went way back against the Diamondbacks. Gene Segura's in the lineup today for the D-backs, by the way. He's playing second base and leading off. He had a great spring as well.
Well, what do you, 600?
Something like that.
I mean, really, with a lot of at-bats.
Softball numbers. He needed a fresh start, I think. Brewers are clearing the way for Orlando Arcia at the shortstop position. And got a starting pitcher, Chase Anderson, and their starting third baseman out of it, Aaron Hill. 2-0 the count on Pagan. 2-1. Tyler Thornburg, the last few years in Milwaukee when he's been here, has been a student of Frankie Rodriguez and how he uses his changeup. Thornburg has an excellent changeup.
And when he's healthy, he's very effective. Tyler Thornburg with that change, and he's just got to stay healthy. That's been the big question on him.
One thing K-Rod always talked about, and I'm sure he talked about this with Thornburg, is that don't give the hitter too much credit. Remember the pressure the hitter's under in certain situations. That's why the change of pace is such a good pitch.
Yeah, young pitchers, I think, a lot of times want to, in pressure situations, they want to reach back and throw harder and harder. You're just doing the hitter a favor at that point. Take a little off. That was a Don Sutton theory of pitching.
Less is more.
Less is more. Big time.
He gets a fastball by Pagan. That seems to be the trend. The pitchers for the Brewers who have the velocity, that are in the mid-90s, are attacking Pagan with that fastball. Saw Jimmy Nelson do it yesterday.
Another guy that likes the ball in on him. Thornburg's been staying away from him in this at bat.
All tied at 3. Giants with a runner at first, 2 outs in the inning. Runner's going to get a head start with the pitch. Blanco, who reached on a fielder's choice. And Thornburg trying to work around a leadoff single. There goes Blanco. Pagan into center field, right at Flores. He's got it. Inning is over. Stretch time at Miller Park. Tie game. And the Brewers will send up Scooter Gennett. He'll start it. And then Ryan Braun. And then Jonathan Lucroy. Bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 game. Brewers trying to salvage this final game of the series with the Giants. Home run leaderboard courtesy of Powerball last year. Those players who remain. Ryan Braun with 25 set the pace. Scooter Gennett's on the home run board this season. And it was an impressive fashion in his first at bat against Madison Bumgarner. Launched one out of here into the Lowe's level in right field. And Gennett, the first home run of the season for Milwaukee. Brewers have gotten a homer today from Chris Carter. Gennett will start it. Javier Lopez out of the Giants bullpen. Tough lefty on the mound for San Francisco.
Oh, to be left-handed, huh? 38 years old. He's on his 13th opening day roster. 7 straight with the Giants. Had a terrific year last year. 77 appearances and a 160 earned run average.
I'd say that's a reliable left-hander.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Got over a decade in the big leagues. Javier Lopez.
Tough arm angle for those left-handed hitters. And he can get right-handers out as well.
And he works fast. Puts the hitter in a little speed-up mode. Gennett fouls it back. Coming at us.
Got it.
That was close. That had a lot of spin on it. I could hear the hiss.
Do you have your glove?
I do not. I'd like my glove back at some point.
You know, I'd keep it, but it's got your name on it. It's no use to me. I'll bring it Friday.
2-2 to Gennett. Takes it off the plate.
Plus, I can't really get my hand in it.
Don't stretch it out, Rock. It's a beautiful glove.
It is.
Courtesy of Spiders.
I will bring it Friday. I'm sorry. I forgot.
I'm going to need it. We're starting to get some activity up here in the booth with foul balls. Brewers need a big hit. Trying to get something going here in the 7th inning. Had the bases loaded last inning, but a double play ended it. Ooh, Lopez just missed Gennett.
Yeah.
With the eagle eye, draws the walk.
Did you see the flinch? Mike DeVero, he flinched a little bit, decided against bringing him up. It's going to be 1 and out for Javier Lopez. He's not able to get his lefty. And just missing that outside corner. Scooter Gennett, you see the flinch? He was thinking about it.
And that's it for Lopez. So Gennett is aboard. Ryan Braun is coming up, and Bochy goes back to his bullpen. Brewers and the Giants tied at 3. And Bochy makes a pitching change.
At 3 here at Miller Park, and get your capes ready for Superhero Night at Miller Park. Presented by Quick Trip on Saturday, April 30th, as the Brewers battle the Marlins. Fans who purchase a Superhero Night special ticket package will get a Jonathan Lucroy Superhero bobblehead. For tickets, go to brewers.com/theme nights.
Captain America, Jonathan Lucroy, he's on deck. Corey Guerin is on to face Lucroy and Braun, who steps in now. We saw Guerin in the opener on Monday. He's got the mad face going. The sidearm slinger Guerin, who will face Braun with a runner at first and a tie. 3-3 game.
Yeah, those 7 appearances came in September. He was a September call-up for the Giants last year.
And it was a late call for the Giants to carry 8 relievers as opposed to 7. And Guerin made the club. Braun asking if that was a strike. If it was going to be called a strike had he not swung at it.
Another tough arm angle. You saw Lopez, tough arm angle for left-handers, and Guerin presents some problems for right-handed hitters.
And Braun breaks his bat. That's going to fall. Base hit. So a walk and a single, and here come the Brewers again. 2 more on base.
Yep, coming in on Ryan Braun again. A big sinking fastball from Guerin, and Braun, with that low 3/4 delivery, able to get enough of it. Sounded like he broke his bat, but dumps it in front of Pagan out there in left field. That's a nice swing by Brawny. Well, Brewers once again, and we've said it a lot of times in this series, set up nicely to have a nice inning, to score some runs.
2 on, nobody out. Here's Lucroy. Brewers have been dreadful with runners in scoring position in the series. 3 for 21 up to this point. Lucroy trying to improve those numbers a bit.
Yeah, 3 for 21, and 2 of those 3 hits have come today. Right.
Well, Domingo Santana had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Braun drove in a run in the 1st inning. Other run was a Chris Carter solo home run in the 3rd. Brewers have some speed on the bags in Jeanette and Braun. Lucroy takes a strike. Jonathan, throughout his career, has been so good in spots like this. Had a down year last year with runners in scoring position, but typically his batting average has been much higher with runners in scoring position than his overall batting average.
That's because of that approach. I mean, willing to take the ball to the opposite field, not trying to hit the home runs.
And a spinner in there for a strike. That buckled his knees.
The first one he's thrown, it's been all sinkers.
Well, that'll get you thinking a little bit.
Yeah. Everything coming into you, and then all of a sudden one going away and froze him. Look at the arm angle on that pitch.
You can see the reaction of Lucroy. He knew it. Tough spot here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count evens. Giants outfield is pretty deep. Pagan plays shallow and left, but the others are deep.
Pence is always deep, isn't he?
He's got the best arm of the group. Lucroy with 2 on in a 3-3 game. In the right field, slicing foul into the seats. drumming up a good amount of anger right there. Corey Guerin.
Yep.
See what he has in mind here. 2-2. And Lucroy turns on it, pulls it foul to the left side this time. So he's covering them all. It's a thinking man's game, isn't it?
I wonder when he's going to get another one of those sliders. It's been all fastballs, those sinkers. He's throwing the one slider that buckled his knees. Does he go back to it here?
Guerin came in for Lopez. Braun had a single after Jeanette walked to start the inning. Brewers trying to snap this tie right here and now. 2-2 the count. And that gets by Posey. The runners will advance.
Yeah, cross up it looked like.
That'll be a wild pitch. Almost hit Lucroy.
Yeah, that was Posey wasn't looking for that fastball. I think he was thinking slider. I'm not sure, but he did not go after that pitch like he knew it was coming, and that will be a pass ball. Crossed him up. I don't think he ever got a piece of it. Umpire got hit.
So officially scored as a pass ball, as you said. But that's not Posey's fault. Well, I guess it could be. Maybe he forgot.
Sometimes you throw down a sign, you forget, right? Like a center in football.
I could change thing here. Now Bochy's going to bring his infield halfway in. Takes the Giants out of a double play chance. The 3-2 pitch, and Lucroy strikes out. Well, you don't see that much.
Back to the slider.
That is a big, big out for Corey Guerin.
That's kind of the way this series is gone. Brewers set up and just not able to come up with a hit. There's that slider off the outside corner, and Lucroy down on strikes.
Got to give Guerin credit. He made the perfect pitch right there. And now Carter. Carter could turn this into a 3-run lead quickly. Infield stays in. Strike. Fastball.
This takes you a while to get used to that arm angle, which makes him a perfect candidate for a relief spot. One time through the order. Difficult to pick the baseball up.
Carter's home run came to right center. Dumped it into the Giants bullpen back in the 3rd inning. His first as a Brewer. He's just trying to get one to touch the outfield grass right here. Braun's got a huge lead at second, and a wave and a miss. 1-2 the count. He's got Carter talking to himself.
Yep, slider.
This is a must situation to put the ball in play at least. The 1-2, Carter in the air, right center. It's going to be played. And here comes the tag. Jeanette all the way in. He will score, and the Brewers will take the lead. Chris Carter with 2 strikes gets the job done.
Yeah, just have to put it in play when you're as strong as Chris Carter, just barely deep enough out there. Yeah, Pence and Blanco were fighting for it. I'm surprised that Pence didn't take the fly ball. He's got the better of the 2 throwing arms. Right off the end of the bat, one-handed, able to get it out there deep enough to score the run. So Scooter Jeanette, the leadoff walk, comes around to score and gives the Brewers a 1-run lead.
Sac fly RBI for Carter, his 2nd ribby of the game. 2 outs now. And here's Flores. This is a spot where a base hit could do some psychological damage along with the extra run on the board.
Yeah, that's more important, the extra run, right?
I think you're almost out of the inning. The pass ball turns out to be a big play. Tapper over the mound, and it's Panic who backhands and throws Flores out, and the inning is over. The Brewers do squeeze a run out of it, though. Chris Carter, his second RBI of the day, gives Milwaukee the lead.
Late here at Miller Park over the Giants 4-3, and download the MLB.com ballpark app and personalize your trip to Miller Park with digital ticket access, seat upgrades, food and beverage maps, check-in offers, and more. Download Ballpark today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
Well, the Brewers now with the lead as we go to the 8th, and it'll be Michael Blazek who is quickly emerging as the setup man for Milwaukee. He was impressive yesterday.
Yeah, backing up Jimmy Nelson. Jimmy 7 1/3 innings, 2/3 scoreless for Michael Blazek last night. A walk and a strikeout. Had a terrific season going last year until he broke that right hand.
He's going to have to earn his way through this 8th inning. It's a key stretch. Giants have their best hitters coming up. Joe Panic will start it, then Posey, and then Pence. The Killer Peas. Remember a few years back, the Killer Bees with the Astros?
Right.
Bagwell and Biggio.
Bell.
Panic takes a strike. Brewers lead at 4-3 on a Chris Carter sac fly and an RBI, all set up by pass ball. So that run is unearned and it belongs to Lopez.
Yeah, started out with a very good at bat by Scooter Gennett, drawing the walk against the lefty. Scooter looking good at the plate to start the season.
Blazek was a shortstop as an amateur player and was drafted by the Cardinals. Signed out of high school, even though he was a late rounder. He decided he wanted to go into pro ball and signed a contract as an 18-year-old. They turned him into a pitcher. He actually came to the Brewers in a trade with the Cardinals for John Axford. The year the Cardinals were making a postseason run. Blazek has really emerged. You got to give him a lot of credit. He's moved himself from kind of a roster filler into more of an enigma with a big arm and little command. And that time he walks Panic, and now the tying run is on. Here he is pitching in late high leverage situations for the Brewers.
And everybody has to, step it up, elevate their importance in that bullpen with the absence of You know, Knebel and Smith. And figure out a way to get the ball to Jeremy Jefferson in the 9th with a lead. That's Craig Counsell's job right now, trying to figure that out. What the rotation is going to be out there in the bullpen. It's a work in progress.
Buster Posey with the tying run at first. Look out. A breaking ball that got away from him. Dangerous hitter in a spot like this. Posey drove in a run with a sac fly in the 6th inning to tie the game. Brewers just took the lead in the bottom of the 7th. If you're just picking us up, afternoon baseball at Miller Park and the final game of the series. Ground ball. Carter's got it. Step on the bag. Throwing a second. And Jeanette forgot to tag him.
They didn't know it was a tag play.
Wow. Safe at second, out at first. Jeanette was trying to go 3-6-3, not knowing that Carter had stepped on the bag. Oh man, that is a mistake.
Well, I guess he had his head down and busting it over to second base. I guess somebody's got to be yelling tag him. He didn't. They just said he stepped on the base. He didn't realize it. You know, watch Jeanette. He's really not looking because he started toward the line down there for some reason, and once he had to alter his route over to second base, he put his head down, didn't realize that it was a tag play.
Well, that was an excellent play by Chris Carter. But now it puts the tying run in scoring position. Posey's out, 3 unassisted, as Hunter Pence takes a strike.
That stuff happens so quickly out there.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you really can't fault Scooter because he did take a couple of steps toward first base, then had to bust it back and wasn't looking. And that's the other issue with those shifts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times does the first baseman actually have to throw the ball to the second baseman on a play like that? Scooter's head's down. Normally it's going to be VR, who can clearly see that Carter stepped on the bag.
And VR was covering the hole at third and short. Now that's the other side of the shifts. That's something, and you won't really see that show up. Advanced metrics can tell us a lot, and they certainly tell these organizations a lot. And shifting works. It's taking hits away, but those odd plays like that are where an inning may be extended, a base runner is advanced. In a normal configuration, that's easy for VR to see and put the tag down. Take the good with the bad. Wave and a miss. Good slider from Blazek.
Yeah, Pence has had a tough time with that pitch in this series. That breaking ball, curveball, sliders, the hits that he's been able to get have been on fastballs, and looks like Pence is pulling off pitches.
Blazek gave Pence fit yesterday with that breaking ball. Does it go back to it? 2-2 now. Tying run at second, and Pence in the air, center field, long run. Flores with room. He'll make the catch. Panic will tag, and he'll make it to third. Hit it a long way on an off-balance swing, but Pence is out. Second out of the inning. Tying run 90 feet away with Brandon Belt coming up.
This time Pence able to wait back long enough. He was still out in front, but able to make contact on that breaking ball.
Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, is out to chat with Blazek. Maybe a little strategy situation here with Belt coming up. A base open at first in case you wanted to.
Well, they intentionally walked Brandon Belt his last time up to get to Duffy with men on base. Duffy grounded to short. And not an easy decision whether you want to attack Brandon Belt and go after, or walk him and go after Duffy, who's got 2 home runs in the series.
Blazek's out pitch, his swing and miss pitch, is that sharp slider. And that's equalized a little bit with the left-handed batter at the plate. And Belt is a low ball hitter as well. See what he does. Going after him and a swing and a foul.
Low ball hitter, and he likes the ball inside. A lot of these Giants hitters like the ball in on them. Not too many teams. Typically hitters like the ball in, but these guys seem to like it. Able to hit it hard and keep it fair. Belt's another one.
What was interesting about Blazek last year, left-handers had a much lower batting average than right-handed batters against Blazek. That was last year. That was a breakthrough year for Blazek. Last year, left-handers hit 184 against Blazek. Right-handers had a 212 batting average. Center field hit pretty well. Flores on the run, and he makes the catch. Playing deep, running catch over the shoulder. The inning is over. And Michael Blazek works out of a runner at third. Great play by Flores. Brewers still lead it. Blazek fired up. Bottom of the 8th coming.
That is a powerful look Michael Blazek's got going on these days. But I'll tell you what, Augie, he's been powerful the last 2 innings. Will Smith out. He's kind of become that setup guy last 2 games in 1-run ball games.
Yeah, and Craig Counsell talked about in spring training after the injury to Corey Knebel and Will Smith that someone had to start stepping up. I'll tell you, there's no doubt about Michael Blazek's been throwing the ball very well.
All right, let's see if the Brewers can add on to their lead here. Brewers Live postgame coming up after the ball game, Brian.
All right, Craig and Augie, thanks. Looking forward to that. Aaron Hill will lead off for the Brewers. Bottom of the order coming up. Have a pinch hitter next. And then VR. Looks like Colin Walsh will hit next for Milwaukee. Corey Guerin's back out there for his 2nd inning. Brewers took the lead on a Chris Carter sac fly last inning. Game went back and forth early. Brewers scored single tallies in the first 3 innings. As Hill pulls one foul. Aaron Hill's had a nice game defensively. Had a hit in the 6th, a single. Three and 1 the count on Hill. Posey wants a fastball. And he walked him. Aaron Hill reaches to start the 8th inning. And it looks like Bruce Bochy going to make a pitching change here. He wants to get the hitter announced first. Now he's on his way. So the switch hitter Walsh is announced, and now Bochy will make the call to his bullpen. So Guerin is out, an inning plus. Bochy back to his pen here in the 8th inning. Let's get you caught up here. Our game summary as we play in the 8th inning. It was a great play by Aaron Hill. That was in the 1st inning and might end up being the play of the game if the Brewers hang on to win this one. Ended up as a double play. Matt Duffy homered for the Giants in the 2nd inning, gave San Francisco a 2-1 lead. But then Santana responding to tie it in the bottom of the 2nd. Game would eventually get tied at 3 until Chris Carter untied the game with a sac fly and an RBI in the 7th. And Carter with the home run and the sacrifice fly has driven in a pair. And the Brewers lead 4-3. Bottom of the 8th with a runner at first. And the new pitcher is Josh Osich.
Yeah, he came up last year for the Giants and did pretty well. He was 2-0 in 35 games out of the bullpen and a .220 earned run average. He pitched on Monday against Milwaukee, a scoreless inning. Throws hard. One of 2 left-handers. We've seen them both in this game.
Colin Walsh at the plate. The switch hitter turns around. It's right-handed as Bochy makes a move. Made his major league debut Monday. Brewers acquired him from the A's, the Rule 5 draft. So Walsh has to stay in the big leagues with the Brewers or be returned back to Oakland.
A little surprised he's not bunting here. You know, get a man in scoring position and you bring up VR then the top of the order. And Craig Counsell's letting him swing away.
No balls, 2 strikes. And just got under it. Out up front a little bit. Pagan is in to make the play for out number 1. A reminder that this week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB TV. That's MLB.TV Premium. You can go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. It is a must-have for a baseball fan. MLB.TV Premium. That's how we saw that Trevor Story hit his 4th home run of the season for the Rockies. Jonathan VR with a runner at first and 1 away. Brewers lead by 1. clearing the big part of the order for the Giants in the 8th. Blazek retiring Posey, Pence, and Belt.
Brewers pitching has been pretty good in the last 2 games. I mean, you know, handling a pretty good Giants lineup. They've limited them to 5 runs so far in the last 2 games. It's a pretty good fastball from the left-hander. Big dude, 6'2", 230 pounds. Born in Boise, Idaho.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Big fastball by VR. Boise's probably most known for, aside from the potatoes, the blue field.
Yeah, right.
The football team.
Did you ever work there?
I've never worked there, but I've been to a few games and it's fun. It's better live. It's kind of weird on television.
Yeah. Takes getting used to.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. Foul out of play. Jonathan VR. Brewers' everyday shortstop to start the year. He's walked twice today. Turns around, hits right-handed. The switch hitting shortstop. And down he goes. A change-up from Osich.
Good pitch.
Boy, that change-up is 13 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
Yeah, fastball at 95 miles an hour. He threw 2 of them at 95, and then he drops an 83 mile an hour changeup on him. There's been a little bit of screwball action on it too. It looked like. Wants to go away from him a little bit. Maybe not.
A circle change. It's kind of a underground nickname for the circle change. It's called the Ote changeup. And I never knew what that meant. Ote.
I've never heard of that.
But it's from the Little Rascals. Buckwheat used to say Ote, and he would hold it. You know how he'd hold his hand?
Yeah,
Ote.
right.
That's how you throw it. Put your index finger and your thumb together.
Learn something new every day. I didn't know that. I knew it was called circle change, but the Ote is a new one.
Everything's going to be Ote, Buckwheat used to say. Ote change.
Said a lot of things.
He was great.
Yep.
You have to Google Little Rascals out there, all you. Not that I was watching reruns. Wasn't that in the 30s, the 40s?
Yeah, we were all watching those reruns.
Those are great. Alfalfa, Buckwheat.
Stymie.
But it only really got good when Eddie Murphy did it on Saturday Night Live. Domingo Santana with 2 outs. And Santana walks. So he's walked twice today.
I don't think Osich wanted much to do with Santana with Jeanette coming up. Prefer to go after the left-hander.
That'll give Scooter Jeanette a swing. Scooter's walked twice. He's singled. And a key at bat against a left-handed pitcher. All of them are for Jeanette. This is a tough lefty to deal with. Aaron Hill at second. He led the inning off with a walk. And now Posey wants to talk it over. Giants are flying home after the game. They've got a 4-game series with the Dodgers coming up. And then they go right back on the road to Colorado and then to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers. The Brewers will see the Giants in San Francisco in June, mid-June. It's part of a road trip for the Brewers that will take them out west. It's June 13, 14, and 15 in San Francisco. And it'll probably feel outside just about the way it feels right now in San Francisco in June.
Yeah, that's the San Francisco, LA, Oakland trip.
Down low, 2-0 on Jeanette. San Francisco, LA, Oakland. What's wrong with that picture?
Right, why not go to Oakland after San Fran, right?
Leave the Bay Area to go to Southern California, then go back to the Bay Area. We feel you, schedule makers. We know your job is hard. Big spot, 2-0 the count. And Jeanette late on a fastball at 96. Two outs in the 8th. Brewers lead by a run, looking for another. Fastball missed.
Good eye. He's really seeing it well right now. You figure he's going to get something good to hit. You got Ryan Braun on deck. I don't think Oasis wants to mess around with Braun here. There is a right-hander getting loose in the bullpen, and he probably won't get the chance.
Strickland gets loose. 3-1 the count, 2 outs. And Jeanette late again. So twice he's been in a hitter's count. It just gives you an idea of the stuff of Osich. Jeanette's a pretty good fastball hitter too, and he can't get around on it. Three-two, and a swing and a foul.
It took a little off it, a little wrinkle in it. A little cut fastball, and Scooter hanging tough.
Well, every pitch he sees gives him a little more information. Been some great battles in this first series. Pitcher batter matchups. Aaron Hill still at second base. He led this inning off with a walk. Santana at first. And the dangerous Ryan Braun is on deck. Here comes a payoff. Runners are going to get a head start. There they go, and Jeanette strikes out. Swing and a miss to get him. Inning is over. We go to the 9th. Jeremy Jeffress, the Brewers closer, coming out to try to nail down the first win of the season. 4-3 Brew Crew as we head for the 9th inning. Trying to get 3 more outs. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. The roof is closed up on a very cool afternoon in Milwaukee. Temperatures in the upper 40s outside. And now Jeremy Jeffress trying to get the Brewers to the finish line this afternoon.
Yeah, trying to close this one out. He's got the bottom half of the Giants order to deal with. He threw in yesterday's ball game a scoreless inning. It was a scoreless 9th inning for Jeremy Jeffress. Gave up a couple of hits, a strikeout, and needs to nail this one down for his first save of the year.
Terrific work today from Brewer relievers Boyer, Thornburg, and Blazek, working 2 2/3 innings of scoreless ball. 4-3 Crew. It'll be Matt Duffy to start it for the Giants. Jeremy Jeffress has 1 career save, and that was as a member of the Kansas City Royals back in 2011. April of 2011. That was at Minnesota, and that was a 2-inning save. So here we are on April 6, 5 years later. After Will Smith's injury, Jeffress assuming that role of closer, and a role that he is very much looking forward to.
Well, he's got the stuff for it, that's no doubt. I mean, he's got the big fastball with movement, curveball, and the split change. I don't know how many split changes you're going to see, but that big curveball is a good pitch for him, and out pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Duffy takes a strike. 1-2 the count.
That's it, pitch right there. Yep, doubling up on a curveball, and this one catches the outside corner.
1-2 on Duffy. He's been hot. Got a couple of homers in the series. Hit a long home run in the 2nd inning. Down he goes. The big fastball from Jeffress upstairs, and Duffy is gone on strikes.
Yeah, missed with the first pitch, and back-to-back curveballs, and put him away with the high heat at 95 miles an hour. Very difficult to get to this pitch up here, up around the letters, and Duffy swings right through it.
Too much to handle. When Jeffress was coming up through the Brewers minor league system, first time he was in the system, he was hitting triple digits. Crawford late fouls it away. And then the move started to happen. Jeffress went from Milwaukee to Kansas City. He was in the Zach Greinke deal. He was one of the 4 players the Brewers sent to the Royals, along with Escobar and Kane and Jake Odorizzi. Royals traded him to the Blue Jays, and it was with the Blue Jays that he dropped his delivery, his arm slot, and just took a little off the fastball to have more command. And he had some to give, so he doesn't throw in triple digits anymore, but he's got some sinking action on it.
95 with that kind of movement's even better. He was throwing, 99 miles an hour. It's pretty straight.
Crawford with big power. 1-1 pitch, and he's late again. Jeffress dialing it up. 1-2 the count. Jeremy from Virginia Beach. A long, long road to get to where he is now. One ball, 2 strikes on Crawford. And again, he's late. 95 with a fastball. Michael Blazek went through the heart of this Giants order, getting Posey, Pence, and Belt. And now Jeffress facing Crawford. The breaking ball as low as 78, and that fastball is hit 95, and there's more in there too as this season goes on and it starts to get warmer. He'll comfortably sit 96, 97. 2-2 pitch, swinging a foul.
He took a little off that one, maybe a little cut to it.
Yeah, that one came in at 90 miles an hour.
That was a pretty good piece of hitting by Crawford just to get a piece of that pitch. That's a pitch you don't see very often from Jeffress.
The Silver Slugger Gold Glove shortstop last year. Brandon Crawford in a one-run game. Jeffress deals, ground ball right to Carter. He's got it, and there is out number 2. Curveball from Jeffress. Brewers will take tomorrow off. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Got the Astros coming in, and the pitching matchups as they stand right now. Chase Anderson will get that series started. And how about that matchup on Sunday with the Cy Young Award winner Dallas Keuchel against Jimmy Nelson? That's going to be a dandy Sunday afternoon. Doug Fister and Willie Peralta in the middle. Business at hand first, though. 2 outs, 9th inning. Brewers looking for their first win. Ahire Adrianza will bat. He'll pinch hit for Bruce Bochy. And a ground ball. Carter's there. Jeffress covers the pitch in time. Ball game over. The Brewers win for the first time in 2016. And Jeremy Jeffress, his first save in 5 years, makes a winner out of Tyler Thornburg. A 4-3 victory for the Brew Crew this afternoon.
Yeah, good job by the bullpen. You know, the Brewers left 10 men stranded and were 2 for 12. You're not going to win many games like that, but you know, good outing by Taylor Youngman, and the bullpen really coming up big here today.
Nice to put that first W in the column. As we check in with Craig Kashawn, it is time for Brewers Live. Take it away, Craig.
All right, good to see 3 games in, and the Brew Crew avoids the sweep, gets win number 1. We'll hear from the Brew Crew. Interviews coming up from the dugout. Also get inside the clubhouse here for manager Craig Counsell. All on the way. Brewers Live is next.